totally recording.
Totes.
We're totes recording. We're just gonna. This is the podcast. Let's go.
It's the PC.
Brad.
I have a burp.
What?
I have a burp. No, it went away. I'm good. Hey, what's up, guys?
Thanks, Brad. How's it going?
I saw a movie, but we'll get to that in a second.
Hey, Nolan.
What's up?
You're here on the podcast.
I'm
tonight.
here on the podcast. My crotch just vibrated. I'm sorry.
Oh, Crispy.
Fucking big.
Hey,
How are you, Crispy?
I'm good.
How'd your hunt go?
It was good, okay? I got a lot of good loot out of it, alright? Gonna do some crafting later. It was good.
You wish you were crafting right now, don't you?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
He would craft all over you, Nick.
Anyways, my name is Nick Henderson. Welcome to episode 402 of 4Player Podcast.
You know, I saw a movie the other day, having not seen a trailer, having not read a synopsis. All I knew was that that nice British man was in it. What's his name?
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
That nice British man?
Yeah.
Well, that narrows it down.
Not Clive Owen, the other one.
Clive Owen's British?
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Guy something?
You didn't know Clive Owen was
Guy
British?
no,
Guy
no.
Guy Pearce is who I was...
I believe he's thinking of Colin Firth.
Yes, I saw Kingsman.
Oh,
Yes.
how was that? That was Best Picture.
All I
2000...
saw was a poster
10?
in a movie theater.
It was the Best Picture.
I saw a poster in a movie theater. It looked kind of like a Spy Kids movie.
Yeah. Hey, Spy Kids are good movies.
Sure. This was not a Spy... It's kind of like a rated R Spy Kids movie.
It's Colin Firth and that other guy, the guy who played
Yeah.
Barbossa in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yes.
I don't remember his name.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
What?
He's in the movie.
Wait,
He's in this movie.
Kingsman.
Yeah,
I
Kingsman.
was thinking of the King's Speech.
Yeah, that's the. That's he's like it's best picture of 2010, and I was like,
Wait, is Colin Firth in that too?
yes, he's the king.
crazy.
Oh my
With the
god!
speech.
Oh my god, yeah, okay.
Colin
I'm
Firth,
going
he's so British.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry.
I
Chris-
saw another spy movie that Colin Firth was in.
Hey, let's
Tinker.
maybe not change the subject already.
Okay,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
So back to you saw the
Was
movie.
it good?
yeah, it was cool. It was like fucking violent.
I've seen a trailer. All I know is like there's a girl with like blade legs.
She has blade legs.
She's like Oscar Pistorius.
Have you ever seen
Pistorius?
Have you ever seen the
Can I
lady?
say his name?
Have you ever seen like the lady
The guy from South Africa.
that didn't have legs, but she just has like the
Yes.
Blades.
and she can like jump 30 meters in the air or
Yeah,
some shit.
She can run triathlons and
Many
shit.
people who run triathlons or
With no
races,
legs.
like Oscar Pistorius.
Stories.
He has those.
Oh, does he see any amputee?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, he just fucking wears them because
I
they're
don't know.
cool.
Like, he could wear them on his feet or something. I don't know. Okay, so she has those, but they're also swords
Yes.
there. And she kicks and slices people up. But like, dude, there's so much. She cuts up so many people. You know what it reminded me of? It's kind of like a British Kill Bill, to be honest. It's like a British Kill Bill, but that's kind of like not a parody. It's like an old school spy movie, like James Bond meets Kill Bill.
I wanted to go see it last weekend, and I did.
And it was surprisingly cool.
I've heard really good things. I've heard there's a really cool scene in a church.
There's some fucked up scenes in this movie. Like, it's fucked up. The poster might look like Spy Kids, but this is not like Spy Kids, man.
This sounds like it's right up my alley.
This does.
Rated R Spy Kids is up your alley? I mean, sure.
Spy Kids was directed by Robert
Sounds way
Rodriguez.
worse than what it actually is.
It's
You talk about Spy Kids like it's a bad movie.
fine. It's fine. It's cool.
It was
I like
also
Spy
made
Kids.
here in Austin, wasn't it?
Shark
Yeah.
Boy versus Lava Girl.
No, that's completely different.
Whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit.
Doesn't Spy Kids have Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
Kingsman is cool.
Spy Kids was directed by
Dude,
Robert
Spy Kids
Rodriguez.
has a lot of people.
Yeah,
Like,
because of Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. So, Antonio Banderas, Kingsman,
Yes.
Spy Kids.
I'm going to go watch that.
And then I saw Still Alice, but I don't recommend that. That's
the fuck
just
is
sad.
that?
It's just sad. It's Julianne Moore has.
Oh,
has-
yeah.
I
Never
was
mind.
about to say amnesia. That probably would be
Alzheimer's.
offensive. Alzheimer's. Which I've had a family member with that. It's not cool. And that movie's just straight up depressing.
Yeah.
I don't even understand like the message of the movie. It's just, hey, sadness.
It's just drawing attention to Alzheimer's.
It's called Sadness, the movie.
It's drawing attention, which maybe that's a good thing. I feel like because I've had a family member go through that,
You already know about it.
I already know about it, but maybe people out there don't know.
A lot of people don't realize the extent of which
There's kind of like a
Alzheimer's can-
shame to it, which is really depressing. That people shouldn't be ashamed of it, but that's how people treat it. It's sad, but yeah.
It is sad. I've had family members with it. This is getting depressing, though.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Kingsman.
Brad. I blame you. Do y'all have any other... y'all want to sidetrack this anymore?
Tidbits.
If we're talking about movies, I saw 2 that I really liked. I saw Inherent Vice.
I saw that.
What is that? It's
I wanna
fucking
see
crazy.
that.
That has Belladonna in it.
It's so weird. I have to watch it. I need to watch it again, but
Dude.
I really liked it.
Everyone needs to watch it again.
It's like Fear and Loathing Las Vegas
That
meets
trailer-
The Big Lebowski.
The trailer for that
it's
was-
I know,
just
I know.
weird,
It
yeah.
looks good.
No.
Trailer
Dude.
looked really cool.
That's
Josh
that-
Brolin is
He is so
fucking
good in it.
amazing.
He's
in
so
that
good.
What
movie.
is he not good in?
Josh
Brolin
that's
was
true.
good in the fucking Goonies.
That's true.
He's
but-
especially good in this, though.
Yeah, like
Wait,
his-
you've seen it too?
Yes,
Yeah.
but this is another movie that I didn't read a synopsis or watch a trailer
Yeah,
for,
no,
and it was very hard to follow.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
I should have
Like,
read a synopsis.
I didn't even realize this was out yet.
Yeah,
It's stoner noir.
Yeah, it's already on demand. That's how I watched it.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that snuck up.
And then speaking of Colin Firth British spy movies, I saw Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
You never seen that before?
That's
Well,
a-
I've seen it. I
Okay.
watched it again, but I just
paid
I just
attention
got
this
through the
time?
audiobook
Mm.
and then went back and watched it. Like, it's so fucking good. So fucking good.
That was
It's-
Gary Oldman, right?
Yes.
The movie is really kind of like
And Benedict
constructed
Cumberbatch.
for people who've read the book because it's such a like dense story, but the book itself is really good. I don't know. It's a great story. And
Look at you reading
I went
real
and,
books. What happened to The Witcher?
I went and got Spy Party, like the Spy Party beta after I was done with that. I don't they're not really that similar, but I was like I really wanted to
You went from Tinker Tailor to Spy Party.
yeah, I know.
Really?
It's
Wait, that's
fucking
what
weird.
influenced you to get Spy
Well,
Party?
it's because it's like
Spies.
because the story is less about like the action and like the gunfights and everything, and it's all about the
stuff that
intrigue
goes on behind the scenes,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
all about like the actual like intelligence work of trying to like suss out a mole in intelligence. So it's like everyone's like. It's all like the social cues and like the games of wit and imperfect information. So that's what got me thinking about Spy Party. So I was like, buy Spy Party.
Did you see The Imitation Game?
No, I really want
wait,
to. though.
I saw it.
Yeah, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, okay,
Where
yeah,
he
yeah.
plays Alan Turing.
Alan Turing,
Yeah, I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Okay, it's good.
It's pretty good.
He's also gay in this movie too, which is weird
Yeah,
because
that's
his
true.
character isn't gay in the book. I don't know.
He
why
just
they did
wanted
that.
to be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the Imitation Game was resounding to me just because that's a lot of my studies were based on algorithms, and Alan Turing was someone we talked about a lot.
It was pretty interesting, and it was also one of those movies that deals with some pretty dense subject matter without making it too complicated.
But apparently they took a lot of liberties with the actual what was going on.
Oh, I bet.
But also I have a new book that I've been reading. It's Lamb, The Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood Friend.
What?
Hey, why
Yes.
have I heard of that?
It's a book about Biff, or Levi, but he goes by Biff.
Biff?
Yes, and it's him.
Hello.
And it's him
Hello.
and him and Jesus. Because it's one of the things. It's like the concept is an angel revives Biff in modern times, and he's like, you need to write.
Back to the Future, Biff?
Yes. He's like, you need to write
you
your story
serious?
about Jesus. And it's because he's like, Biff like gets a copy of the Bible and he sees that like, wow, everyone tells the story of when Jesus was born. And then all of a sudden he's 30. Like a lot happened in between that. And I was with him. And so it's like them going on like fucking adventures and like, I don't know. It's pretty
humorous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a satire. It's a satire, and it's amazing. It's like he goes by Joshua in the book, not Jesus, because in the Hebrew whatever he's actually whatever. So anyway, they call him Joshua, and he resurrects a guy from the dead. He's like 9, but then the guy dies, and he's all depressed about it. And then an angel shows up, and he's like, "I come to tell you that a savior shall be born in Bethlehem." And they're like, "What? That's him?" And he's like, "Oh shit. Did I miss it?" He's like, I stopped to play cards, and I guess I lost track of time.
Like 9 years ago?
Yeah, he's like, that was like 10 years ago, man. He's like, oh, if you see some wise men, let them know. Dude, it's fucking great. I'm fucking loving it. It's amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've covered movies, we've covered books.
Now we have to.
I had a pretty good taco the other day.
Any other business we need to get to? Let's just,
I've been playing some games.
let's talk about
I
video
have been
games.
playing games too.
Why don't we start with Brad? You played Resident Evil Revelations 2, didn't you?
I didn't finish it.
You didn't finish. You were.
Isn't it like 3
I watched
hours?
you play so much of that game. You were so close.
Was I? That's sad.
I mean,
It's sad that I'll never finish it.
No, I will. Can I open this
go for it. Open.
by saying
Open away.
this is a co-op game that has no online co-op, and that's so fucking stupid.
They apparently just added it to the. Wait, no, they added.
No,
local
they
co-op
added local co-op
to the PC version.
After somebody had already modded it in.
This is a co-op game that you have to play split screen or tiny screen.
Really?
Catty cornered. And
Oh, didn't they do that in 5 too?
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's a bunch of dead space in between.
yeah.
Oh god! Don't bring up the better game. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just like here and then here.
Yeah, you know, I see what you're saying.
But this is a co-op game that everyone's playing single player because there's no online co-op, and this is a game that should not be played single player. I feel like
It's really dumb. Like, why would they go from 5 where did 6 have co-op in it? No.
Yeah.
I didn't play 6 at all.
Yeah,
Good.
When we did New Release Tuesday, we played it co-op, didn't we? Like, didn't you play it with David?
Yes, I did. Yeah, he brings up a good point. I did play it co-op.
I played 5 with David.
Did you?
What?
No.
Okay, the point is they
Did you misunderstand the plan?
Oh.
like more than any Resident Evil game with co-op, they've designed mechanics around, hey, unique co-op. Like this character can only do these things, and you work together. She can blind them, and she can blow them away. And there's no online co-op. So you're playing by yourself, and you're switching the characters, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It takes forever for some dumb reason.
It is very
A little silly.
It's weird because like independently, if you look at the
No, he's running the wrong footage. This is The Last of Us.
Oh
wait, no, Capcom just played The Last of Us.
literally like
I really thought it was
Barry.
when it first came up, it looked like the beach level from Faction.
Barry is Joel, and Mora is Ellie.
I also feel like comparing it to The Last of Us, maybe giving it a little too much credit visually.
Yeah.
Because like character wise, like Barry looks
Like a husky
Just-
Joel.
looks just like Joel. It's kind of
Barry has
ridiculous.
red hair.
But at the same time, like the game looks pretty budget.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because like the game runs super smooth on PS4. Like it runs maybe just shy of 60 frames a second. It's pretty damn smooth. But like visually speaking, the game falls really flat,
Well,
in my opinion.
it looks like this game may have started on Vita, and then they were like, hey, let's just upport it. And then they didn't release the Vita version because no one has a Vita. That's what it seems like, right? Because if you think about it, Revelations 1 was a 3DS game. That's why it was called Revelations, because you don't call it Resident Evil 6 or 7 because it's a fucking 3DS game. You make it a spin-off.
It's a spin-off.
And then they ported that one. And now we have a Resident Evil game, theoretically a proper Resident Evil game for PS4 and Xbox One and PC. And it's still called Revelations, and it still kind of looks like not a real Resident Evil game because, like, why? What happened?
It's also
Like, it's not just budget. Like, this used to be something else. It has to.
the game is so mechanically different, I think, than what Brad is referring to as a proper Resident Evil game, that I don't think they could have gotten away with actually calling it Resident Evil 7 or whatever.
Well, I mean,
It's like
if it wasn't episodic and, you know, she points. God damn this stupid game. Like, one of the dumbest things in Resident Evil Revelation was that you had to pull out your little scanner and scan for things just to be able to pick them up. You see a shiny, but you can't pick it up. You got to scan it first, then you can pick it up. And I was like, oh, thank God, the scanner's gone. And Mora, no, she's got to shine her flashlight on the shiny for you to be able to pick it up,
and
right?
since it's not co-op, you have to switch characters.
You have to switch characters every time to do it. In every room, it's so stupid. And then you switch to Barry, and it's this girl who doesn't have a flashlight. She just points. So you switch to her, and she's walking around pointing at shiny, saying, hey, look, pick it up, Joel. And then you could switch to Joel and pick it up. It's so stupid.
Or you can pick it up as her, and then you have to go.
and
into a
then
menu.
transfer it, which
And you
makes
got-
no fucking sense.
Wait, really?
They
Yes.
have each character has their own
different
independent
inventory.
They
inventory.
can telepathically move bullets from one
when
character to the other.
when the one character, her whole purpose is just collecting loot, and yet she has a completely separate loot from the guy who uses it.
She doesn't even have a gun, so she's picking up bullets she can't even use.
But she doesn't do anything but pick up loot, right?
No, she can point at enemies too and see through. This looks like The Last of Us, right? She has the listening mode from Last of Us.
Also, she can throw bricks and hit zombies in the head. Now, I'll say this. You'll actually see this. You'll see this. Like this, well, if we get this far in this conversation, but like when I was recording this footage today, there was a point where I was walking down a hallway and I turned to look down into a room and a zombie comes out, kind of to my left on my peripheral vision. I didn't see it. And I heard it and I turned and looked and it was like right in my face. I was like, oh shit. And then a fucking brick came over my shoulder and hit him right in the face.
Awesome.
And I was
Did
like,
that zombie look exactly like a clicker? Because those are in this game too.
Clickers.
yeah, well,
Pretty much.
there are things that look just like clickers in this game.
Wait, so did we determine that the bracelet and like the adrenaline level system that they introduce
Has no
absolute,
bearing.
like
At least so
consequence
far.
whatsoever?
Now, I did see. I saw a couple people today say that episode 2 might be an improvement over this
So
first episode, but like it sets a very weird precedent with this first episode because like
Yeah.
that one thing that seemed kind of unique about the game, like mechanically speaking, really has no bearing on the overall gameplay at all.
This game should not be episodic. It's so weird. You finish the first chapter and you put points in all these upgrades for like Claire and Mora and stuff, and you don't even use them again. So like you're
even go
putting
back to
points
that
into
character?
upgrades for like the next episode that you might buy the following week. Like what the
That
fuck?
was pretty funny.
That's so strange. This feels like a real game that they just chopped up. But I think they made it episodic so, they can kind of get away with, hey, this is kind of budget spin-off Resident Evil.
kind of poopy.
It just doesn't make sense. It's like the Resident Evil, whoever made this, the developer at Capcom, they saw The Last of Us win all the awards. They saw The Walking Dead win all the fucking awards, and they're like, well, these are the kinds of zombie games
like,
people like. Let's make it episodic and play like Last of Us.
Like, hey, we make zombie games.
Yeah.
It's like people use zombie games.
This is scary, right? Because we're expecting them, Capcom, to reboot Resident Evil for Resident Evil 7.
Yep.
And we're thinking, well, this isn't the reboot. But then if you take a step back and look at it, like, this is absolutely
kinda like a soft
them looking
reboot.
at other things before, this is not them just making another Resident Evil. This is them looking at the West,
Yeah.
which is what you kind of maybe expect that they would do before a proper reboot. And this scares the shit out of me.
No, it scares the shit out of me too. But like, and I mentioned that like this, by far the scariest thing, and this is part of the reason why, like we were having a big conversation in chat while Brad was playing this between us and a lot of community members about just the state of like the lore in general and the franchise. And like 4 is like. 4 is fantastic. It's
Yes,
fucking amazing.
very
I
much.
love that game.
Dude, honestly, if
But-
7 was like just like a better looking 4, I would be happy.
But the thing is, and I said this in my conversation, and it might be kind of extreme, but like I feel like 4 set a very dangerous precedent because they dabbled in a different genre, which is good. I like it
Yeah.
when they do that. But the moment it took off, they were like, let's just do way more of that and just take it as far as we can go.
Yeah.
To the point where all of a sudden they're like, Resident Evil's huge again, let's make a movie. And then the movie turned into a fucking Michael Bay fucking Matrix crossover bullshit franchise.
Yep.
And now they're literally turning around and just imitating the movies based off of their games. Like that's what this is becoming.
I mean, imitating the games based off the movies.
Their games are now imitating.
They're like changing the source material to fit what's popular in
Yes.
like the wider media.
Yeah, it's
Which is not the thing to do.
it's dumbfounding. And like somebody in chat even pointed out, like the little girl's name apparently is like the name of one of the characters, like the little girl that's like the bad
Laura?
guy in like the new movies or something. Like this character might actually be
Loosely based off that
loosely
character
based
or
off
different-
of, or maybe directly based off
Yeah.
of a character in the fucking movie.
So I mean,
You know
so
what?
how did 6 do critically and financially?
Pretty bad critically and pretty bad financially.
So I mean, hopefully something like that would. Well, like this is what you were saying.
But though
is,
5 was the best selling Resident Evil game.
yeah, but it wasn't. I guess I never really played too
Despite
much
the
of
fact
5.
that they re-released 4 like 9 times.
I think it's still 5, but maybe 4's caught up since then. But
Yeah. It just hopefully they. I mean, obviously they're rebooting the series with 7, but just hopefully it's not what we're seeing here.
I mean, usually these spin-offs are just kind of testing the waters for the future.
The thing is, they might be testing the waters mechanically. And honestly, mechanically, there are things about this game that I like. Like
Sure.
I really don't like that laser sight aiming and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of that. The way they do it in this game.
yeah. I mean,
It's just a differently paced game, It's the laser sight aiming. It made sense in 4 because you were kind of standing still because that's all you
Right.
could do.
Yeah.
And you had time to aim, or you had very little time.
Most of
but-
the time, yeah, you did.
it's weird when you're moving and shooting to use the laser.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to kind of, as you move, keep it tracked on a single
exactly.
point.
You know what's also really weird about this game is you go from the first segment you play as Claire, and you're fighting those evil within type monsters, dudes like wrapped in barbed wire or whatever, and they're fast and they're running at you. And they're not really zombies per se.
Like,
And it does feel
suffering rejects.
It does feel like a ripoff of Evil Within, having just played that. But like at the very least, like the combat felt good to me. And then you go and you play the second part of the chapter as Barry, and all of a sudden you're going through the same exact areas that Claire just went through. Or did she? Now I'm thinking about it. But like the second time you're playing as fucking zombie. Like the enemies are zombies. And now that I'm thinking about it, there was a story reason as to why the enemies might be different. But still, it's kind of like we want to put like fast. They want to put like fast Evil Within or Resident Evil 4 type zombies in the game, and then the next section they want to put classic stumbling zombies.
They don't want to make up their mind.
They don't want to commit to either one, and it's just kind of like the whole game kind of comes off as like a hodgepodge of like just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
That's a shame.
But not
Remember
in a good way.
this what you call the Silent Hill reject monsters from Resident Evil Revelations?
Yeah.
They are in this game, in the second chapter that you stopped right before you got to it.
Nice.
How like the enemy type is actually kind of interesting because you have to like shoot away. Like they have like an exoskeleton or whatever, but like one shot will kind of like blow off like the exoskeleton on different parts of their body, and they have a weak point hidden somewhere in their body, so you have to like blow off certain parts of their body to find it, which is kind of interesting. But they look like the rejects from Resident Evil.
That makes me think of the fucking enemy from Resident Evil 4.
Regenerate.
Yeah,
the
it's
regenerators.
basically just a regenerator that looks not quite as cool.
Well, that's cool.
It's
They got regular zombies, they got fast zombies, they got clickers.
I'm ashamed. I'm sad that the feed cut before we got to see the brick hit that zombie in the face.
So here's my question. Do you think it's like I think this game might actually be pretty fun if played co-op?
Yeah.
So do you think it's worth it maybe for me to like maybe drag Carlos over here and finish this episode and play the next one? Do you think there can be fun to be had here with this game?
I think so. I mean, I played it and I came out with some pretty like negative feelings maybe, but like at the same time I had fun with it. I didn't not have fun playing this game.
So I might sound really harsh
But
and really unfair, and I don't
thing-
want to sound like an asshole, but I played like 4 hours of Resident Evil 2 before I jumped into this thing.
Yes,
And Resident Evil 2 is one of the finest horror games ever made. So maybe that's why I feel like an asshole, especially because you're Claire in both as well. And like, this game didn't feel good either. I don't.
No,
like when I was shooting stuff, it just seemed so inconsistent as to like how the enemy would react. You know, even in something like the Evil Within, I felt like the enemy was moving, and I shoot it in the leg, it goes down.
It falls.
It goes down every time. It felt consistent. And this, it was just like whatever the fuck. It's just, and they have these potentially good, cool scenarios. Like remember when you were opening that door, and you were trying to like crowbar the door off with Mora, and then like there was a big thing that spits fire that you can like spin around as a wave of enemies comes in. That seems so cool if you can like coordinate with a partner.
Yeah, if one person can be doing each one.
When you're just switching characters, you're just Mora desperately praying that you're not going to get fucking interrupted. And it's just, like, well, why does this game not have online co-op? Can anybody answer me that fucking
probably
question?
honestly either budget or time.
I have a feeling it's time.
They just didn't have the time to get it working properly.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they
They've done
released
it
it as
with
a
the
DLC.
last-
Network issues.
But they've done it with like several Resident Evil games at this point.
Yeah, that doesn't. This is a different game. I don't know if the engine might be different. It could be. Maybe they had network or latency issues when they tried to do that.
They're just trying to get this game out before the Japanese business quarter ends or whatever. That's why there's so many Japanese games that come out in March, because they're trying to get them out before the end of their like fiscal year, right? Mm-hmm. And like I feel like maybe they kind of wanted to just get this thing out before E3, because I'm guessing we might see Resident Evil 7 there.
Yeah.
And
it might be one of those situations where if people see 7 before they see this, they might just wait.
Maybe they're just trying to remind us how bad it's gotten before they show us how good it can be.
Or they just want to actually sell this thing, and they're not going to sell this thing once we see Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, as soon as they start marketing that,
I mean,
they're going to just put all their money into it.
I don't want to get into the debate we were having before. It's just like I watched you play all of Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 2 that you did. When
Right?
You and like that game, or like the early entries in that series, like that, this whole franchise for me has lost its
Direction.
Its direction is one way of saying it, but like its vibe, its tone. It's completely lost it. And 4 was like the last time that I felt that way about the franchise, and that's why everything post 4 I've been lukewarm on at best. Like 4 was the last time I felt like the series had a real grasp on like the atmosphere they were trying to present and everything.
That's the same way I feel about Final Fantasy 12.
Well, yeah.
Final Fantasy 12, how's that?
It's the last game that had a real grasp on what they were doing.
Well, there's only been one since.
Well,
one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one.
Yeah.
One numbered entry since then.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Anyways, let's move on from Resident Evil. Brad, you asked me why I wasn't playing Resident Evil 2 or Episode 2 this weekend, and
I didn't ask you that.
you asked me in Hip Chat.
Okay.
You asked, sorry, not on the podcast. You asked me when I was giving you my.
Just
schedule.
fucking go with it, Brad.
Because you're gonna buy the disc.
Well, I was gonna wait and buy the disc used. Like, so I mean, like, I don't want to. Like, honestly, I don't. Like, this is one of the few times where I don't really want to support this vision of this franchise.
Well,
And
people
but
might want to see it more than Persona.
I know. I'm actually gonna wait and see what the reception is of Episode 2.
That's
Maybe
the thing.
I'll play
It's
that.
good. That's the most shocking thing I've seen is that.
But I don't know. Like,
people are saying like it's getting better.
Well, maybe I'll play it. I'm not going to play it this Friday, but I might play it this weekend or something on the broadcast. I don't know. If I do play it, I'll play it on the broadcast. I promise you that.
Oh, we should do online co-op and test out the dual. Oh wait, fucking.
I do.
That would be such a good game for it.
We recorded a dinner time, me, Crispy, and Chris this past weekend. So if you're a patron or a subscriber, go listen to that. I won't get into it, but like we talked a little bit about Dying Light, which I've also been playing in. And God, I went straight from playing Revelations to playing Dying Light. And God, fuck, I love that game. I like that game.
Okay,
it's a good game.
Game's good.
Do you know what game I love?
Nope.
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like
Is it good?
I finished it. Yeah, I like it. I have a video review coming out. Maybe by this weekend, you'll see a video review. So maybe I don't need to go into too much detail.
How about you say by next weekend?
But it's done.
Is it done? Yeah. You're making Chris Davis make it by this weekend. How about you say
Chris? He's a machine. He can make this.
Who
Brad,
doesn't feel pain?
Brad, under promise, over deliver.
I'm saying
Always under promise. You're fucking being Peter Molyneux right now. It'll be out by this weekend. Guys, it's not out this weekend.
saying-
We had to push it back.
I kind of want to
It's
just
the
know.
creative, collaborative process.
I'm saying we always are like, man, is Chris Davis going to get this done? And he fucking hip chats us at 1 a.m. in the morning. He's like, hey, my first revision. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
Because he doesn't sleep and doesn't play
What if he
games.
gets
Because he's not
malaria?
doing reviews
No.
for you.
He actually does play a lot more games.
All I'm saying, I recorded all the audio and all the footage.
Under promise, over
Just
deliver.
fucking tell us about the game.
What if he gets dysentery?
Exactly.
Have you played Canvas Curse?
No, actually, I have
I'm
not.
talking to a bunch of jerks. That's what I'm talking
Well,
to.
I honestly,
You never
I'm not
gave it to me.
I'm honestly I've never played a Kirby game. Like,
Really?
I mean, I've played Kirby, but like,
In Smash?
no, like I played.
I'm talking to a room. Is there footage? There's footage.
There's footage. I'm a Kirby noob.
It's the Kirby game where he's the ball and
Yes.
you draw the lines. Y'all know what it looks like.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Canvas Curse was fucking amazing.
Yes.
Because it was this innovative. It was one of the first 3DS games that said, "Hey, this is why a 3DS should exist."
Yes.
This is why the
a good
3DS
way to
is
use the touchscreen
unique
and
touchscreen mechanics. It was the first touchscreen game I think for the DS that's like, damn, okay, maybe I don't need a PSP. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I didn't think this game would ever exist because the 3DS comes out and it doesn't have the gameplay's never on the touchscreen because it's the top screen that does 3D. It's the top screen that's widescreen. So they stopped making this type of game, right?
Yes.
So I never thought we'd see this game, and then sure enough, they announced it for the Wii U, and I'm glad because that's the only way this game would exist anymore. The problem is a lot of people are kind of saying, "Hey, you know, you're looking down at the screen the whole time," and the Wii U pad screen isn't all that great. Like you can even barely tell it's a claymation game when you're looking at the screen on the Wii U pad. I mean, it looks fine, but you know what? It's the only way that this type of game can exist anymore, so I'm not going to fault it.
Yeah, you have to be looking at.
Weren't
the
you really
screen to see
worried about
what
this
you're
being
doing.
too? You were really, really worried about this game
Okay,
being
so here's the thing. So I finished it. It's great. It's actually a pretty challenging game. This is not a walk in the park. Now, granted, I've played a bunch of Canvas Curse, and I'm pretty good at it, so that might make it look easy. But there's actually a lot of reviews out there that said this game is like super frustrating. Like there were, it got a couple of low scores that just said this shit is frustrating. I didn't think it's frustrating. I mean, I died maybe like a dozen times in my playthrough. You know, the campaign probably took me like
that's 12 more times than you died in A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, well, no. For a game like this, it's not like that's the thing. I didn't die like constantly, but man, there were so many close calls. So many close calls. And that, I feel like that's the perfect difficulty balance. When you feel like maybe on your first or your second or third try, when you just get it, you know, that's such a satisfying moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like this game was doing that constantly. It's just, man, it's just a joy to play because the mechanic is so cool. It's so satisfying.
So if I'm interpreting this correctly, you're just drawing lines that turn into yarn that you
clay,
or is that clay?
Yeah, clay lines.
Clay lines, and then you kind of use it as like your track.
You just guide him around. Now you can tap on him, and he kind of does a little dash, which is the only way to kill enemies. Actually, in Canvas Curse, you could tap on enemies to stun them, and then if you just like sort of casually rolled into a stun enemy, it would kill them. But now it's very precise. You have to dash into an enemy, and that's another reason why people going from Canvas Curse to Rainbow Curse could say that this game might be a little more frustrating. I just saw it as having to be a little more demanding as far as you know the way you play the game. Mm-hmm. Like it was satisfying. It made it a little more challenging for me. Like there's something so satisfying about the mechanic of steering Kirby around via a line. We don't get games like that anymore.
Nope.
And I'm glad this exists. It's fun. There's actually really good bosses in this one. If Canvas Curse had one flaw, it's that it didn't really have real boss fights. It had strange little mini games that you did after you beat a world, which kind of sucked. But this one has cool bosses. That wasn't an actual boss. That was just a little mini boss thing. But I think I fight a boss here later.
Oh, that's cool. You can block the laser.
Yeah, and you can block like water and lava, and there's fluid dynamics. It's so cool. Little clay walls falling. I'm telling you.
I really like the art style.
It's fucking fun, and I'm scared that no one cares about this game. It's $40. The campaign probably took me 6 to 7 hours, but there's like 100 challenge rooms, and each one of those challenge rooms has 4 separate little like twitchy puzzles where you're like using a mechanic to like quickly get to solve like that room and get the treasure chest. Mm-hmm. So that's like 400 little challenge rooms in this game that you could easily, double or triple your playtime with this game trying to, beat all those and gold all those. That's really the only thing to do outside the campaign. I mean, you can find stuff you can try to collect all the stuff in the levels, and there's these figurines you unlock, which are fine. And the other thing you unlock is music. Man, this game has a great fucking soundtrack. Y'all can't hear it right now, obviously, but the soundtrack to this game, and I'm so glad that there's a sound player, because sound players are how I get around the loophole of not just playing tracks off of YouTube during a broadcast. I could just pop up a little window on my broadcast and play the music from the game.
So this seems to me like another, And
it's only $40.
On the Wii U?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really cool. And if you pre-order it out of fucking Toys R Us, you could have gotten a free Kirby amiibo. It's a great fucking deal.
I have a Kirby amiibo.
Great.
It's still under the seat of your car?
No, I kind of took it out. Would you like it, Brad?
Sure. You've never played a Kirby game?
I mean, I played on the Game Boy a long time ago. Like, my friend had it, and I played it.
Never played like Kirby 64?
Nope.
That game was fun.
I'm pretty much a Kirby noob.
There's one big thing that irritates me about this game, though. It's that I guess this will be the last thing I say. It's that he has no power-ups anymore. In Canvas or like in any Kirby game, you kill an enemy and you get its power.
Yes.
And in Canvas Curse, they would adapt that to you get the fireball power and he can like shoot like a fucking fireball, which is great. Or the different Kirby power-ups, which were cool. It's not like you were using them constantly, but you weren't using them constantly, but they were nice to have. I mean, power-ups are cool. In this one, they sort of went the Kirby Epic Yarn route, where instead of getting powers, they had dedicated levels to where he would transform into different vehicles.
So that's like Yoshi's Island. The original Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island. But in Yoshi's Island, you would kind of get them like temporarily in levels.
Yeah,
dude, this looks like
this
fun.
is entire levels you're transformed as
that. It's very fun. So he has this rocket mode, which you steer, with your lines. He's always going straight though, so you have
What
to
happens when he runs out of line? Okay, he keeps going.
yeah, so there's also like a submarine. Now the submarine you can kind of tap to where he moves around, but he's constantly shooting torpedoes, and the lines will steer the torpedoes into enemies and switches and stuff like that. And then he has a level where he has a couple levels where he's a tank, and this tank you're kind of tapping to shoot around the screen. It's nice, but it's very much like Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a good trade-off. It's I think Kirby Epic Yarn did really well for them. I think it was like the first Kirby game since like probably Superstar that actually did
that
pretty
was
well.
That was super easy, right?
Yeah. Well, every Kirby game's been really fucking easy since. Well, actually, every Kirby game is pretty easy outside of Canvas Curse. I think that's why I was so worried about this game. Like Kirby on the NES is one of the first NES games I've ever beaten just because it was easy. And I was only 20 back then. I made your joke for you, Nolan.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It's fun. I think it's worth the price. Support it if you have a Wii U and you like cool games that aren't $60 fucking and 5 hours long, with a lot of QuickTime events and kind of rubbish stories. But might be solid start to a franchise.
Not that we're referencing anything.
No. Maybe get this instead. Because this one,
This seems like
it's
a better game, or at least worth it.
Say what you will about this game, it is like 100% pure, non-filler, just fucking gameplay.
Yeah, it's always something.
Constantly having new ideas, and yeah. So that's Kirby. It's cool. I'll say a lot of the things I just said in my review, which will be going out sometime, probably this weekend.
You convinced me. I want to try it now.
Nice. That's good.
All right. We have a couple more games I want to talk about. Crispy.
Hey.
You've been playing. What have you been playing, Crispy?
I have been playing Dragonball Xenoverse.
That's right.
Yes. And
we
you know what?
We got footage of this.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Cool. Because I couldn't capture any. I'm glad you guys got some. Because
Pretty
this
sure
game
Jaeger
is
did it for us.
actually, like, pretty cool.
Game of the year.
It's pretty cool. I'm not going to say it's game of the year, but it's almost like a mix between a Dragon Ball Z, like, fighting game and an MMO. Because the whole game actually, like, you have, like, a hub city called Toki Toki City.
Of course.
That you do everything out of. And when I was playing it, the servers were really unstable, so this wasn't very common. I think they've kind of calmed down a bit since. But, like, you actually are in this, like, hub city with, like, other people. Like, and they're all just milling about, doing their own thing.
And none of them are racist.
Yeah. What? Oh. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
anyway. So yeah, you can do a whole bunch of different stuff. Like there's a story mode where you're actually like going through like different moments throughout the Dragon Ball Z storyline. You can do like tournaments. You can do like regular fighting modes where like you're picking from actual characters from the manga and the anime, and then they have a whole bunch of co-op missions that they call parallel missions that you can go do with other people, and those will usually be things like defeat these enemies, or you're on Namek and you have to collect all the Dragon Balls, or stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff from the show, kind of. Or...
Yeah. So like, what?
I feel like these Dragon Ball Z games have always done a pretty good job of having some decent like single player out of just straight up battle content.
Like story kind of wise almost.
More. There's actually like a meta game.
Oh, there's no way you could charge that spirit bomb that fast.
It's just a smaller spirit bomb.
This is based on Kai.
Yeah. Where they don't take 6 episodes to charge.
This fight right here is actually based off the newest movie because he's fighting Beerus.
Okay.
Anyway,
Jesus.
Like there is actually a metagame to this. When you start the game, they make you make a character. So you pick, you want to be a human, a Saiyan, a Majin, like Buu, or like a Frieza race, or
I prefer
whatever.
Majin Vegeta.
Yeah, you could do that.
Can I be a Majin Namekian?
Oh, Namekian, that was the other one. No, you can't. Unfortunately, the Majin are their own race, and they actually look really interesting for having only ever
Majin was
seen.
a tattoo.
What?
It's
He's just referencing.
They just call. I mean, they've only ever shown Boo in the show.
Correct.
As far as the quote Majin.
Well, they have those. Well, no.
Yeah, I mean, but they actually like fleshed out what a race of those
things would look
boo
like.
things would look like, and they
Yeah.
look really cool. So your character gets drafted into this thing called the Time Patrol by Shenron, and this is all run by Trunks, and their whole thing is that they watch over time and make sure that history happens the way it should happen. And there are these people, I don't know what they're from hell in a different dimension or something like that. They're like demons, I don't know. And they're going around time and they're fucking with everything. So like they're fucking with Goku's fight with Frieza, and they're fucking with like the Cell fight and all these like classic Dragon Ball moments, and you have to go and set it right. And that is the basic premise for like inserting your character into all these classic moments.
You gotta make sure Krillin always gets his ass kicked.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Exactly.
There were so many missions like in the Namek and Frieza sagas where like Krillin would be a teammate, and part of the lose conditions is if any of your teammates
Jaeger's
die.
character. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a Saiyan.
He's
Oh yeah,
fine.
and then you like
He's hitting
what-
on Fidel.
Yeah, like the different like characters will train you. So you'll pick a trainer and they'll have you do missions, and then they give you their special powers.
This is actually pretty cool looking.
It is really cool, and like I said, like it's like an RPG. So your character has a level, and you're leveling up, and all of your skills are actual like items that you buy. So you don't like in past Dragon Ball games, you know, there would be like a command to just like pump up your Kai gauge or whatever,
Correct.
right? So that you could go Super Saiyan or use your attacks. And that's an actual skill. You have to earn it. You have to like buy it or something. You have armor that you wear that gives you different stat boosts. You have a scouter that you wear that you can actually use in the game. It's kind of like a little throwaway thing, but you can like scan people's power level and see what level there are, and you can use it to find items in the world. Like it's fucking cool.
I have a question.
It's fucking cool.
I have a question. So I used to be a huge Dragon Ball.
Can you
fan.
hide your power level?
No, I wish, right?
I used to be a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, as many of us were. I've typically... Sorry, R. Who said R? Is that you? Oh my god, that looks weird. So I've kind of historically stayed away from Dragon Ball Z fighting games just
they've all been
because
shit.
they've all been,
No, they have
not all of them
since
have. Since
fuck off,
Budokai.
guys. Since Budokai 3.
Yeah.
I'm
yes.
just, like
Since
like they've
Budokai,
done
yes.
like 9 games since Budokai
Okay,
3, and
yes.
they've all been shit.
Correct.
Okay.
I
damn.
think I'm the only one here that played the
fuck?
Dragon Ball game on like the Wii. And there was a Dragon Ball game on the Wii. It was such fucking shit.
Well, the biggest problem with the Dragon Ball Z games since Budokai 3 is that they've gotten more and more of these like ridiculous QTE moments where like you'll hit a guy once and then they go into the whole like pre-rendered animated sequence, and it's just about like
This does
picking
look
the
a-
right button at the right time. There's none of that. Like there's none of that here. Like this is all like real-time fighting.
The fights look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a little
And-
Tenkaichi.
And it kind of makes me like, would this be a good game to choose? Do you kind of just want like a good nostalgia trip?
Dude, yeah, I was expecting to not like this. I was expecting to...
Because people have been kind of flipping their shit about this game.
I was expecting to be like really down on this and just be like, I was planning on playing it once and then like putting it away. This actually got me like back into Dragon Ball Z.
You know,
I'm
would it
trying
be
to
weird
track
if I
down
told you one of the
Kai.
first things I watched this morning was a trailer for that new Dragon Ball Z movies?
Would it be weird if I told you one of the first things I watched this morning was the In the End music video?
For Dragon Ball Z?
That's kind of weird.
You know, no, I'm just kidding.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, I think if you were a fan of Dragon Ball Z and
Huge
you want
fan.
like a nostalgia trip, like this is a
Hell,
pretty good game. to try.
Nolan gave me that the movie with Beerus.
Battle of Z.
Yeah,
Battle of Z.
and I watched
Yeah.
that at the airport last time I was coming back from Pittsburgh. That was a good nostalgia trip. I wouldn't mind playing a game. Is it full price, full 60?
I think it's 50.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Jaeger about it. It's 50 everywhere.
Yeah, I think
It's like across, in other countries sometimes it's higher.
Yeah.
It's the same. Like just translate whatever 50 is into that country. It's like across the board. It's like
Do you have to like fight real people and stuff?
you don't have to, but you definitely
yeah, I
can.
think it's multiplayer, so you can, but you can also just play the single player.
Which I mean,
so
it's kind of cool because you can like build up your character and
so
like
you've never
set
been
up a
able
skill
to fly
set.
around Kami's tower like that.
Oh yeah,
That's
like
pretty
they're
fucking
like
awesome.
the environments are like open. And they'll be connected by these little like warp gates, so it's not like an open world game,
Yeah.
but like the maps are really fucking big, and like so you can fly around Namek, you can fly around these different like unnamed Earth.
Wait, did he
places.
just fly
So,
straight
like, all
from
those-
Kami's
all-
tower into like a fight? Like-
Well, yeah, but he's in a mission.
Oh.
So yeah, it's not like when you're out in the world like this, you're on a mission. You don't just go out and do like free roam stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like all the different like settings, like you know those like
Vast open
those
areas.
vast like desert areas with like the rock formations and everything. They've got maps like that here.
Yeah, I'm assuming you can crash into them and blow them up.
You can't blow them up, but they do have a little bit of like environment deformation where like you'll throw someone into the ground and there'll be like a crater, but then it instantly like disappears. Unfortunately,
Is there still like a billion fucking characters from the show that you can play as?
Yeah, there's
Like,
a bunch of characters.
The
from
game's
show.
got ridiculous. You could be like, oh, this is Piccolo pre-Nails fusion and post-Nails fusion.
Oh,
Piccolo.
dude. Yeah, like you get like Goku, and there will be like 9 different versions of Goku, including Goku as Captain Ginyu.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bunch of characters. I mean, even like little no-name characters.
Don't you mean
that showed
Captain
up in,
Ginyu
like,
as Goku?
No, I think he meant Goku.
No,
as
Goku in
Ginyu.
Captain. Yeah, so you're in Captain Ginyu's body.
Can you do both?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can play as Captain Ginyu using.
Why would
Goku's
you do
body.
that?
I wouldn't play as anybody but Birder. Come on.
Oh yeah,
I played Jace.
you can play as Bird.
You
Jace.
would play as Jace.
A lot of the voice actors, like they couldn't. I guess they couldn't find everyone who did like the original, especially from like the early seasons when it was like the Canadian voice cast. So some of the new voices are pretty funny. Like the guy they got to replace Rikum, like sounds really stupid. Like without being too rude about it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's over for you. Like, I'm Rikum. Like, it's ridiculous.
See, Brad's over here poking fun at being like Dragon Ball Z nerds, and he's over here naming off characters that no one who didn't like Dragon Ball Z themselves would know.
Dude, I never denied liking Dragon Ball Z. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, you just okay. Maybe you didn't officially, but you kind of implied it.
I'm just saying, the show jumped the shark after Future Trunks showed up.
After what?
That was like the Cell Saga.
That was
after
before
that.
the Cell Saga.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like right after that was the Cell Saga, and that was
That's
awesome.
one of the best.
Cell Saga was fantastic.
That's where I started watching. Actually,
The Boo
the
Saga
first
is where it
time.
kind of lost me.
Yeah. But if you like, this game's not going to convince you if you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan. If you think the premise of Dragon Ball Z is stupid, this game is just a lot of that.
A lot of stupid.
Yeah, a lot of stupid. But if you like Dragon Ball Z, this is probably the best one that's come out since Budokai 3.
Would you say
at
ever?
least. Like I said, it's not so good as a straight up fighting game, like say like the Budokai series were, but as like an adventure fighting game hybrid, it's actually a hell of a lot of fun.
It's exciting to watch at the very least. That's pretty cool.
It looks cool, and it's not super hard to make it look cool. Like these aren't like super complicated combos, but there is a little bit of depth to it.
Can I be pre-diabetes Dobura?
Probably.
All right. Hey, look, we wrapped that up right as the footage ended.
No, technically we did.
Technically, shut up. So let's go ahead. There's one other game. Well, it's technically 2 others, but no one's actually played more of this than I have. This is a game that was sent to us. I think one of the developers sent it to us. He was kind enough to send us some codes. It's a game that Crispy's going to be playing on Wednesday, right? Is that the game we're going to be playing? Tomorrow.
Yeah, Catacomb Kids?
Catacomb Kids. I've literally only had time to boot it up and play the tutorial level and just dabble a little bit in one of the first levels. This game's hard.
That's no joke.
This game does not fuck around. And actually, in the email that he sent me when he sent me the codes, he was like, Be careful, the game's hard. Here's a video you should watch before you play it, which was helpful. But perhaps you're better suited to give this game a proper introduction, Nolan.
So Catacomb Kids, it's a roguelike. Interesting. Hard is definitely the way I would describe it. It's still an alpha, so it's very early. And so similar to Rogue Legacy, at the beginning you choose from a list of like randomly generated like characters. As of now, you can either be a like a kind of like a melee character or like a spell-based character. And so every character similar to Rogue Legacy kind of has like faults and like advantages.
Yeah.
So like one of them might be like, oh, they're very good with swords, or they can hold their breath for a long time if you go underwater. Because if you go underwater this game, if you just stay underwater, you'll die eventually.
I think there's potential for everything in this game to kind of kill you.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
You can even one of your one of the characters I chose, one of his disadvantages or traits was he was a sloppy eater. So
Yeah.
when you use like food to like get your health back, you would get less health back because he would more of it would it wouldn't make it into his mouth.
Yeah.
Which is clever.
And so so that's another disadvantage might be doesn't like swords or doesn't like axes. So if you open a random chest and you find an axe that's maybe much more powerful, if your character doesn't like it, he just refuses to pick it up. And so one of the things, since they're all different characters, and so they'll have different like stats, they'll have different like mana, they'll have different health, and from what just I've gathered, it seems like the more disadvantages they have, the more kind of negative traits, the higher their health is. The more positive traits, the lower their health is.
Yeah.
To the point where like I was on one screen and just sliding and looking at all the different characters, and one of them had all 4 negative traits and they had 5 health, and one had all positive traits and they had 2 health.
Yeah.
Meaning like 2 hits and you're just dead.
Yeah.
And like the frustrating thing with this is it's extremely roguelike in the sense that every time you die, you completely start over again. So I just kind of based on the trailer we watched last week, I figured it was kind of more of a you learn from your mistakes and it's like, oh, I won't do that again. Kind of almost like N+y, like you or Meat Boy, you would do something, make a mistake, and then redo it. But since this is I guess I'm assuming procedurally generated, it's you completely have to relearn the game every time. So yes, you will like encounter this.
Learn with enemies.
Yeah, you'll see certain enemies and kind of know how they'll react.
And like these little
orbs.
The orbs are pretty cool. That's how you level up.
Yeah.
But you that one little fight you just got into, like it's a very kind of a simple looking game. It's styled very simply, but like when you get into fights, like that was actually pretty like it's super exciting.
Oh yeah,
just jumping around and lots of.
So the enemies aren't like slouches. They'll try and juke you. They'll kind of try and like go around and because if they jump on top of your head, they'll do damage. Likewise, if you jump on top of their heads, and so they're always trying to kind of get around you and avoid you. And so you often want to sneak up on enemies. You can throw things at them. But I was going to say similar to like Legend of Dungeon, potions are also like randomly generated. Like they're different every time. So when you pick up a potion, this time it might be this, but later on it might be something else.
That's very roguelike-y.
Yeah, and so like at first I pick up this white potion and it's a regeneration and it regenerates a bunch of health, and then later on it sets me on fire and kills me. Yeah, and so if you're not near fire and if you're not near water and you set yourself on fire, you're gonna die.
Yeah, and you can learn spells too.
So you'll find spell books. Like maybe you'll encounter like a desk and you'll rummage through the desk and you'll find a spell book, and that will let you learn like one of 4 spells that you can choose from. Like there's like an ice one, there's a one that teleports you, there's one you can create portals. There's one that there's a chain lightning spell, a poison spell where you throw like a blob and it poisons enemies.
The only one that I got was it was like an ice an area
like
effect,
a cone of cold almost,
kind of spell, which is cool because like I'd come up to like a pool of water and I could like use
freeze it,
and it would freeze the water temporarily, and then you could run on it and try and jump onto a ledge. But at the same time, you slide on the ice.
Yeah.
So I was like running and I was getting ready to jump, and I was like, oh god! I just
the mechanics are a little weird, like in the sense that like there's a high jump, but you have to like hold down and then jump.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of weird mechanic. There's like also a roll. You can roll to dodge enemies or elements in the world that will hurt you, like swinging blades and other traps and stuff like that. But it's also fun because enemies will set off traps, and so you can lure enemies. Like if you know there's a trap that will quickly go off, you can kind of lure an enemy into the trap and get them to set it off.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's a good art style. Another one of the spells I was trying to think of are level. When you level up, you can do a lot of different things. You can increase your vision so you can see farther. What? I spawned and instantly fucking died because there was a trap there.
Real easy to die.
Oh yeah, super easy, especially from traps. Traps will kill you like almost instantly most of the time.
There's no persistence in this?
Not to my knowledge.
So what's going on here when you die though? And you're like,
I don't know. That's another. I don't know if it's because it's an alpha. It like shows me my character, and I guess it shows you maybe a progression of
Just
how
a bunch
far
of
you've come.
stats.
Maybe it's like stats and stuff. I haven't really been able to figure out what that was.
So I've never really quite understood like the progression of like a roguelike. Like
that's my current curiosity, and I guess I haven't done enough research into this, but I haven't seen much persistence from death, like, and then when you come back, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the difference between roguelike and roguelite, right?
Yes.
The old school rogue in that type of game is just, different every time. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to happen, but you have a goal, and your goal is to, like, go down to the dungeon, get the thing, and get back out.
Mm-hmm.
And, people would play those games for years, never actually having achieved that goal, but it's,
still fun.
Infinite replay value.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're very hardcore roots. I mean, persistence is not something that's very common to, rogue games until I think kind of recently, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
With something like, like
Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy, where there's like a ton of persistence.
Yeah.
But this seems, I guess, more just kind of old school, which, you know, there are definitely fans of the genre who'd argue that this is a pure rogue is the best kind of rogue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the elements in Spelunky that are persistence are very minimal.
Correct.
You know, like even opening up the tunnel thing, most people would never even use those because, you know...
You want to start from the beginning
yeah,
to
they
get all
start
the
from the beginning every time. So, yeah, I could see that this is trying to be more like Spelunky. Fine. I mean, it looks fun. I mean, if the items are cool and
So yeah, that's another thing you do encounter. There is, you know, there are multiple types of weapons. There's like sais, there's swords, there's lots of different. There's like a rapier. There's all these different types, and then there's also like helmets and like shoes and like chest pieces and stuff. And so you can find all this different stuff that messes with your stats. You have like a luck stat, and you have all the different stats you'd normally have. Well, another ability I found when I leveled was a double jump.
Yeah.
And so then afterwards I was able to double jump. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on.
So I assume that I assume
Yeah.
like this sense of progression is going to come from like if you do survive a level and beat that level, you retain all of the
the next
Yeah.
level you're in, you're still there. Including like at one point I think I poisoned myself, and I thought maybe if I go to the next area I wouldn't be poisoned, but no, I still was.
Yeah. So I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
Also, I've noticed that like if you fall from too far of a height, you can like break your like feet. I don't know if I think that might affect your speed, like afterwards and stuff like that.
Oh,
so.
I remember I kept getting hit by this swinging blade, and it hit me the first time, and it said right leg severed or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was hopping. I'm on my foot, and then like every time it would hit you again, it would say left arm gone. And
Yeah.
and one of those, and then all of a sudden, my arm, like the one that was carrying my sword, was gone. All of a sudden, I realized I didn't have a sword anymore, and I couldn't find it.
Nice.
So you know, it's a pretty it's a pretty deep, involved roguelike.
Once again, I mean, it's alpha, so I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more to come for it. I mean, there's only, like I said, those 2 classes, but on the class select screen, there's like 8 different class options. So I mean, I feel like there has a lot of potential, and we'll just need to wait.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
see.
So
what if they made a Castlevania roguelike?
I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Big thanks to Michael for sending us the codes, and I'm going to be playing more of it. It's one of those games that it seems like for someone like me it might get a little frustrating, so I may not play it on the feed, but Crispy is going to play it.
Because Crispy is better with that.
But
Fuck does that mean?
just know going into it, it's
Well, I'm gonna
It's
be
a steep
playing
learning
this,
curve.
and then I might also try to play another game we got a code for called Black Hole.
Yep.
Black Hole.
I played some a little bit earlier today, actually, just a little bit. One thing I will say, but it's an indie game. The developer literally reached out to Nick, myself, and Crispy this morning at like 6:47 in the morning. He sent us an email. He's like, "Hey, I made this game. Y'all should check it out." And we were like, I was like, "Okay." And I looked at the YouTube trailer and I was like, "Holy shit, this looks really good." And so one thing I will say, it seems like 3/4 of their budget went towards audio, both voice acting and game audio. I will say, from like the 20 minutes I played of this game, just the fucking soundtrack and voice is fucking phenomenal in this like small indie game that I've never heard of. Like I was playing some here before we got live, and like, oh my god, like I was loving it, and it looks very much like a VVV meets I almost want to say the Swapper, because it's very puzzly but platformy.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to play that as well.
cool.
Yeah.
What are we, how are we doing on time? There's one more game that I know Nolan wanted to kind of bring up, but I don't know. Go for it.
Cool.
Go for it.
Another game I played this week was Subnautica. I got a copy of the game, and I finally got a chance to check it out.
Did you get your feet wet?
I did. I got my whole body wet.
Take a dip.
Yes. And so, once again, this is another game that's also alpha. So it's very...
How's that going around lately?
Yeah.
The ocean of potential, though.
Yeah. And so actually I played it right after they made a new update. So I played it the night I broadcasted, and literally the next day they released another major update, which actually took out a lot of the stuff that I had. You know, so like a lot of like elements, like certain like kind of like zinc and stuff is no longer in the game. They like completely removed it. They were like, honestly, this doesn't really make any sense, and we're just taking it out. And so but they didn't take it out of my inventory. So I have all this like stuff in my inventory that just says old next to it. Like, so I grabbed it all and just like threw it out of my ship. But yeah, so no, like I was able to, and Brad and I were talking about this, and hopefully this changes in the game, because on too fast paced. Like you're able to start and within like an hour, within less than an hour, I already had the sea moth, which is like a small kind of submersible. Brad, in your game, I don't know if you've played it since the update, the sea moth doesn't give you oxygen back, correct? Like when you get into your sea moth, you don't gain any oxygen, you just don't lose it.
Correct.
In the newest update, you gain the oxygen back.
Oh, really?
Which makes it so much easier. Because what the problem is, so, you go really far out, and then you go like 200 meters down, and then you have to go all the way back up to the surface to get your air. But now, at least in the latest update that I played, the sea moth, which is the little submersible, not much bigger than a person, will give you your oxygen back.
I definitely don't think they should be making this easier.
Oh, so I don't know. So I think what they should do is they should make it harder to obtain the stuff like the sea moth, or maybe the sea moth not as hard because that's useful. But then this is the Colossus, the submarine, the big one. That's definitely too easy to obtain. At least in my opinion, you get it very early on, and once you get that allows you to go very far out. And
wait a second.
What's up?
Am I supposed to believe this guy built all this in the middle of the ocean?
Yep.
By himself?
Yep.
What?
So how it works is you gather materials, and then you put them into like a fabricator or into this like machine that then creates them. Yeah, this is distant future. And so all you do is you feed the machine the materials, and it will, using lasers, create the item. That's how it works. And so some other new things they added, so you can weld and fix your ship. One of the newest things they added, which was really fucking helpful, but once again, like Brad was saying, kind of making the game easier, is this diving rod, whatever they called it, is essentially, just think of like a fishing line, like a reel on a fishing line. You attach it to the ground, and then you like attach it to your belt, I assume, and then you swim off, and it leaves a line behind you. Because the thing is, in this game, you find all these underwater caves, and you start exploring them, and all of a sudden, you're fucking lost.
Yeah.
Like, wait, where the fuck did I go? Did I come through this way? And that actually kind of makes it easier just to find your way back out.
Yeah.
Because there were several times I died. Like, I ran out of oxygen because I was off exploring, and then all of a sudden I tried to get back in time. Because you only have, at first, like 40 seconds of oxygen.
Does the sun set?
Yes, there's a nighttime.
Is it scary at night?
Well, the monsters come out at night.
There's always monsters. I mean, deep in the ocean, there's always some.
It's definitely something that kind of changed for me.
It's something
but I feel like at night, in certain areas, you'd be much more likely to eat.
It gets like hardcore.
Yeah, with the sharky type enemies.
Maybe. There definitely are enemies that will attack you, but you can also go after them. The thing is, when you're in your sea moth, like what Brad's in now, they will come after you and they'll start attacking it. And your sea moth can be damaged. It can run out of energy or run out of health and just like be useless. But another one of the things I wanted to talk about was I found a what is it called? I forget now, the guy, because when I was broadcasting it, one of the QA testers for the game was in chat, and we were talking with him, and he was answering questions about the game for us, and I came across this giant fucking like tentacle, like it's just like almost like a manta ray, but it had big tentacles behind it. This giant fucking creature that was like a reef whale or something like that. And it's essentially what the QA tester was telling us about was like they have plans on maybe like putting some sort of vegetation growing on it, because it's like a big slow moving creature that's like a very like almost like whale sounding thing. And I just randomly came across it, and I crawled up on his back, and I was like walking around on his back. Yeah, because it swam up to the surface, and I was like walking around on it, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And then like I don't know, there's
this game, man.
That's the thing that I think kept crashing my game.
That's what people were saying. It was probably that, because it sounded, that sound that you heard before you saw it. Yeah. That's what I was hearing too.
That sounds so fucking cool.
It is. And
this whole game sounds fucking
and so the next thing they're planning on implementing, or the next big thing, is underwater bases, so you can actually like build. And they in the recent footage they put out, they released some information on the underwater bases, and it looks like it has a lot of potential. But once again, like I don't know.
Did you play on survival mode?
No, everyone told me not to. I was going to, but they told me not to.
Why did they tell you not to?
Because they said.
Are you playing on survival mode?
No, he's not.
I wasn't, but I kind of regret it.
They said it'd be easier.
You don't eat.
In survival mode, you have to take care of both food and water. You have like those like resources, and if you kind of run out, you'll die as well.
Did you fuck around with the? There was never a clip, but I feel like there was a lot of funny moments that first night that I played, and there's like a device that you can make that creates a current. Did you fuck around with that?
The current generator?
Like the
no, I
first
didn't use it.
The first time I used it, I was near my escape pod and I turned it on
And it like
phew, it shot my escape pod like hundreds of meters away, and I was like, no! Like that thing was freaky because I was building like this whole pipeline down to the bottom of the ocean, and then I couldn't even find my escape pod, and I was freaking the fuck out. And then it's easy to get lost. Like if you get out of your little
Seamoth,
your little mini Seamoth,
your submersible, yeah.
And you don't keep track of it, it's easy to just
definitely
lose it.
Yeah. So that's another thing that kind of comes into this whole diving reel that they've introduced. Is what I started doing is I would park my Seamoth near like a rock or something, and then attach it to it, and then swim away, and then I can always find my way back to it. I'm gonna say this. This needs to be more hardcore. Yes.
This you shouldn't be
I
able to
agree.
save and reload. This needs to be like if you lose something, then you gotta like create an expedition to go find that thing. You know, you shouldn't just be able to reload. You know what I mean? Or just make a new one, because I feel like this is an environment. This is a situation where the stakes should be really high, but they're just not. And I feel like that's kind of affecting the excitement a little bit. You know, outside of exploring and discovering. Like, did you mess around with the little floaty alien
I
things
found those.
Dude,
I found a really
like,
big, deep cave that had these like fluorescent mushrooms in it.
Yeah,
And I started
found
going
that
down
too.
farther, and I found these volcanic things coming out of the water, which I think later on you'll be able to get items from it and stuff like that.
Back on those floaty things. It was so cool. I just saw them floating on a rock. And there was all this metal around that I couldn't carry in my inventory, so I started grabbing these floaty things and just attaching them to the metal, and boom, it was shooting all these materials up to the surface of the water, so I could just kind of go back and like pick them up when my inventory was cleared. That's crazy.
So one of the things is that you can craft beacons. And then you can so if you're out and exploring and your inventory is full and you can't take things with you, if you have a beacon on you, you can leave that beacon there and then kind of find your way back. But the thing is, it's water, so everything is affected by the current. And so the beacon will like float away slowly. So you have to what I ended up doing was I would like dig a hole and like put the beacon in the hole so it couldn't go anywhere, and then just know that that's where it was. But what was funny though is because one time I was in my submersible and I was near my beacon, and I got my submersible and I was like, my beacon's gone. Like it just disappeared. And so I was like freaking out, and so I'm driving away, and like the game fucks up. The camera's all wrong, like it's just listing to the right, and then I can't control it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I get out of my submersible, and the beacon had gotten stuck on it. And so I was like fighting the beacon as I was trying to like drive my submersible.
It's early glitchy.
Vunic says to tell you to tell Brad about your pipe man.
Oh, Brad
clip.
saw my pipe man. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Because Brad was talking about I had found a cave, and it was like maybe 100 meters down, and I was getting tired of going up and down like to get air, and so I just put like you can have these pipes that you can build one every like 10 meters, and then if there's like little like sections in between them, and if you go up and touch that section, it will give you some oxygen. And so I just built this very long pipeline down, and on my way back up, I just kind of made like a pipe man.
It's such a cool idea, but because the arc of growth is so fast, you don't even need to worry about stuff like that.
Honestly, pipes aren't necessary. Like 20 minutes in.
Like the concept of the current generator is really cool. Like I can get around the ocean faster by creating these currents, and just jumping into them and having them shoot me around. But by the time you get your Seamoth, which is pretty quick, you don't need to worry about.
Maybe they'll balance that out. I mean, it's still an alpha.
Hope they do.
It's still an alpha.
Yeah.
And I hope they fix this thing from glitching out all the time.
The glider, the sea glide.
It always glitches out, and it's like in your face.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's even right here. It's a little bit high. Like it's usually not that high up, and so the more you use it, it's gonna get even higher and higher until it's almost like right in front of your face, and you can't fucking see anything. Yeah, no, it's once again, yes, it's very early alpha. They're still working on it. So
that's cool though.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, that's neat. All right. Well, we need to cut it for the break. When we come back, we have a lot of big news. Metal Gear got a release date. We'll talk about that, among other things. So stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment, I guess. Hey everyone, I'm Nick from 4Player Network. You might remember us from such classic moments on Justin TV and Twitch TV as...
Behind you. Look behind you.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Scooter Brothers! We are brothers on scooters!
we are very excited to announce that we are going to be doing a variety show for our 400th podcast on March 14th.
Actually, Nick, we've done a lot more than 400 podcasts if you count up all the different shows that we've done at conventions like E3 and PAX East and PAX...
Shut up, Crispy. That's right. 400 podcasts. For 400 minutes, we're going to be playing and talking about some of our favorite games from the past 7 years, alongside some special guests. So tune in Saturday, March 14th, starting at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for fun, games, and pie. Chris Davis has promised us pie. We hope to see you there. Check out 4playernetwork.com for more details.
All right, hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to the podcast,
Is it
everybody.
recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, okay, hey.
Go, Brad,
Video
go.
games.
Hey, Brad, just...
Hey, there's something in the news.
Wait, before we do that, I just want to quickly mention a few things. During the break, we announced a couple things, one of which being we're going to be doing our celebratory 400th podcast, and I put that in quotes, 400th podcast on March 14th, 2015. That's a Saturday. It's
4 p.m., 400 minutes.
400-minute podcast.
Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
Variety show. Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. So tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be posting more details on the front page of the site at 4playernetwork.com. Also, if you're listening to this at home and you have not yet, please check out our new live page, 4pp.tv, where we have theater mode working. It's big. It's beautiful. Ed did a wonderful job on it. So check that out. It is now the optimal place, and it's where you should be watching us broadcast every day. Also, this came as a real shock to me because yesterday I completely forgot they announced the nominations for the podcast awards, because literally we remembered the podcast awards like a day before they closed nominations, and you guys still managed to get us nominated. That's awesome. We slipped in there. We've been nominated for a gaming podcast.
We're gonna beat Giant Bomb yet again.
If
if you guys can make it happen.
Yeah, so voting is actually open. It opened today, so you can actually vote for us once a day, every day for the next, I think, 15 days.
Something like that.
So
I already voted.
You can visit.
You can actually make your homepage like 2 different tabs, right? Can't you like save it in Firefox or some shit so that when you open your browser,
no,
it takes you to the homepage, our homepage, and the podcast awards site to remind you to vote every single day, but still visit the site every day.
Okay, I was nervous. I thought he was about to like slip in some weird instructions. Okay, so Kimmy figured out her ad block was stopping theater mode from working.
Yeah, that's what some people have been talking. I think J52 or someone is having that issue as well. Apparently, multiple people have been having issues with ad blockers.
We'll look into that. We're still troubleshooting a few things on theater mode. So
maybe disable your ad
why
blocker.
do you have ads enabled on our page?
Network.
We need those. I mean,
not really.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. There we go.
It definitely helps.
Definitely a little bit helps. But you know what helps us the most is watching us on our live page at 4pp.tv. It gives us valuable traffic, and to be totally honest, that traffic plays a integral role in the number of badges that we receive to E3 every year.
It's all they care about, guys. It is so depressing.
It really is all they care about.
It's a numbers
traffic to our website. So anytime you can tune in to watch us on 4pp.tv as opposed to the Twitch page would be greatly appreciated. We're going to be applying for our E3 badges at the end of the month. So, go vote for us for a podcast award. We really appreciate it. You can vote once a day, every day for the next 15 days. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll bring something community stuff. Never mind. Brad, wait. Your 2 stories are kind of related.
Are they?
They're
Slightly.
not even remotely related? I mean, I guess they both start with M.
Well, no. They also share a date.
They do?
Yes,
Well,
they do.
It's not the same date.
Yeah, it is.
It's the date.
It's the date. Nolan, why don't we start with you?
Okay.
What's your news? What happened this week, Nolan?
So,
But that's going to make mine seem so lame.
It is. Don't
I only
worry.
brought it up
It's
because
only lame.
there's nothing else.
Your news.
Yours is weird.
Your news made me very excited. I'm excited for
fine,
news.
Nolan, go. What's going on?
well, tomorrow,
DLC for something?
tomorrow it is being announced that Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain is being released on September 1st, 2015. It was supposed to be announced on IGN. There's actually a page online with the Phantom Watch. Is that what it's called? Whatever it's called.
I don't know.
Well, from the Phantom Cigar. Thank you.
Are they going to pull... so this leaked, right?
Yeah.
So are they gonna pull a Brad? They're gonna be like, oh god, everybody knows it's not September 1st.
So
it's September 2nd.
It was IGN's.
How is that a Brad?
Because you just did that to us with subscribers.
It was IGN's fuck up. Essentially, Konami gave IGN or Kojima, I don't remember who, gave IGN an exclusive on Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, they've kind of had it for a while now, just all this stuff going through them first. And their site kind of got leaked a video that's supposed to go up tomorrow about Kojima talking about the game. And announcing that the release date is September 1st, not June, like a lot of people were hoping for.
What, guys, are y'all having a shortage of stuff to play this year? Do you know what else comes out in June?
My God.
Batman?
Everything comes out in March, actually.
Everything does come out in March.
Do you know what came out today? White Knight.
Yeah.
That fucking game I talked about, Trailer Talk, that was really cool.
cool game.
Oh, yeah.
We could have played that for Terror Tuesday.
Why didn't we?
Well, because...
Why didn't we?
Because to play a horror game, you have to first let Marc Pilier play it.
It's only proper.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
So, I mean...
Well, you know what else comes out September 1st?
Oh, what's
Or
that?
3rd, I thought. I don't know. But first, sure.
No, it's the first. It's the exact same fucking day.
Sent to Die. Why would you release it the same day as a Metal Gear game? I don't know.
It's
Actually,
they probably did not know.
It'll probably still be all right.
I don't think publishers talk about when they're going to
How
release
much do you want
dates
to
with
bet
each
that
other.
they were planning to announce their date and then had no idea that that date was the same?
Sure.
That would be hilarious. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Why would they have known?
I wouldn't be surprised at all if the next day they're like, did we say September 1st? We meant October 1st.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what happens anyways. But, hey, that Mad Max game, it still exists. It's on next month's cover of Game Informer, and it's coming out September 1st.
That makes
we
me
were
happy.
actually really worried if this game still existed because we saw a gameplay demonstration of it
At E3?
2 E3s ago.
2 E3s ago.
And then last E3, it was... No one said anything about it. And then the movie trailer, and everyone was hyped for it, and we still didn't hear anything about the game.
And then they announced Just Cause 3.
They announced Just Cause 3,
But-
which is the same studio.
It's the same studio company, but they have two different studios. One's
mean
in
two different-
one's in New York, and I think the other one is either
Okay.
in Canada or LA or something. So
Okay.
that other studio, they didn't really know what the other studio was working on. Most people assumed it was probably Mad Max. So,
Sure. Well, that's cool. It's interesting. I kind of want to see how far along the game has come because it actually looked.
I thought it looked
cool
awesome at E3.
a couple years ago. I mean,
It looked open
I'm a
world.
little more excited about Just Cause 3 probably, but who knows? It is after the movie comes out though, right?
Yeah.
Because the movie comes out this summer, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
May
so.
or June or something.
So,
But still,
there was some speculation that they were going to time it with the release of the movie.
Yeah, that's what
but
people were thinking.
But
yeah.
still, even after a major release of a movie like that, it's been a long time since Mad Max has really been relevant, I guess, movie-wise. So, it'll still be on people's minds. Maybe not. It may not be maximizing that potential, but hey. I feel like we moved on from Metal Gear pretty quickly, though.
I agree.
I mean,
it's a release date. What else are we going to say?
Well, I mean, so as of right now, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, like I said, there is the big thing going on tomorrow. If the big thing was just that trailer that got leaked online today, I don't know. But I mean, it's always possible they could.
did y'all watch the trailer?
I did. I saw it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Was it good?
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's just Kojima talking about the game, talking about how the development cycle a little bit, how they needed a new Fox engine. That he said that Snake is going to be a little more of a silent protagonist.
I heard about that.
In the sense that,
Well, do you remember we were talking about how quickly Kiefer Sutherland got through all of his reporting work?
Yeah. He ain't talking much because Kiefer wants the big bucks.
I mean, that's
that's a possibility.
That's
a
definitely a
cynical view.
possibility.
Yeah. That he did just essentially not that it's just his commentary to himself that Snake usually has the commentary while you're playing and stuff a lot. Apparently that's not going to be there during cutscenes. Yes, he'll be talking plenty. But Kojima also mentioned that this is his last Metal Gear Solid game. He says the Metal Gear series will probably continue, but he claims this is the last time he will be working on.
This may be a dumb question. Maybe it's just because I haven't really played anything outside of the Solid series.
Uh-huh.
What exactly separates Solid from just the regular Metal Gear series? They've always been synonymous to me.
I mean, Solid Snake is a big one.
Is that the only thing? Just
I mean, that's one of the big ones, but I mean,
but like they've all starred.
Well, and now they've also
Snake.
done Metal Gear Rising. They've done a spin-off there.
Well, no, I
They
mean,
did
Solid
Metal Gear
Snake was in non-Metal Gear Solid games.
Right.
And in fact, there's been Metal Gear Solid games that didn't even have Solid Snake.
yes.
So who knows what? But there's Metal Gear Rising. There's Metal Gear Acid. There's Metal Gear whatever the fuck. I mean, the point is it doesn't
Portable
mean
Ops.
anything because Kojima said this a billion times before.
He says this at least once every major release.
I think the last time he said it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Before 4 came out, I think.
he said it for 2, 3, and 4.
Really?
Yeah, that he was done. He even said after Peace Walker.
That's probably one of those things where he wants to be done.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely that. And then
yeah.
Konami's like, we have nothing, and just throws all their money.
Well,
at
now they've said, hey, you can work with Guillermo del Toro on Silent
That's
Hills.
true.
Which
I mean, that's
maybe that'll be his like creative release.
yeah, like Lords of Shadow.
Shut your.
I'm not
whole
trying to
mouth.
be cynical, but he ain't making a fucking Silent Hills game. Not like
What the hell makes you say that?
because he's making a fucking Metal Gear game. I'm just saying, you don't make an auteur
you
does
think
not do 2 major projects at the same time.
Unless they're really, really, really auteur-y? Yeah. Like, but you think they're just attaching his name to Silent Hills because it'll sell?
Well, I'm not trying to be cynical, but hey, they did it before.
That's fair.
You're so cynical.
Have you
Brad.
not played Hideo Kojima's Castlevania Lords of Shadows? It was great.
I haven't played that.
Maybe you should. If you're not going to play Symphony of the Night, fucker, maybe you should play Lords of Shadow.
Oh my god. You're a
I'm sorry. I'm
cynical
sorry.
fuck.
I'm sure he cares more about Silent Hill. I'm sure he'll cut a nice trailer like he did with Castlevania.
Crispy's enjoying this way too much.
Hey, I'm just saying.
All right. I wanted to bring up a game real quick, news-wise. This is just a quick game announcement. I don't really have there's not a trailer to show right now, but it caught my attention. That was close, Crispy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is an indie game that I wanted to bring up. It's actually something that caught my eye on Twitter. I posted it in the new game trailers thread on our forums over at 4playernetwork.com. It's a game called Death's Gambit, and the game looks like a gorgeous, like side-scrolling pixel. Looks
like Castlevania.
It looks like a cross between Castlevania meets maybe something like Demon Souls or Dark Souls, and on like 2D plane. Like it looks cool. Maybe even a little Shadow of the Colossus in there because there was a sequence there where he was climbing.
It is very. In fact, there was more than one Colossus that he was climbing. That they were kind of like mobile levels, but it still looks very Castlevania. It was slash Bionic Commando because I think he has like a grappling hook. You haven't seen the trailer?
It seems like a hodgepodge.
Dude, it looks crazy.
I'll give the trailer to Chris. We can actually put it in the podcast video.
Oh, I thought were going to do that.
Oh, I don't have it. Yes, this is White Rabbit is the studio.
Well, it looks.
It's gorgeous.
It looks good.
Do you follow them on Twitter?
Shut the fuck up.
God damn it, Nolan. No.
This is a terrible, terrible joke.
You can watch the trailer there by clicking the link that Prince of the Universe
Okay,
posted.
dude. So this has me wondering. Like, there's all these great like games coming out that are like, "Hey, we miss Castlevania, so we fucking make one that's kind of like that, right?"
Yes,
like
correct.
that's pretty common amongst like indie games, like
Yes.
cool looking fucking indie games, like Chasm and shit. Sure. Do you think? So remember when Koji Igarashi was like, "Man, I'm going to go indie. I'm going to make a fucking spiritual successor to Castlevania,"
Yep.
and then maybe he saw some of these trailers. He's like, "I think maybe I'll just go get a job." like how much, or like Yasumi Matsuno, who's working on this strategy RPG kind of, with
Unsung Story?
Playdeck, Unsung Story. Do you think they're seeing? I saw another trailer for a game called Duelist, which was described as like Final Fantasy Tactics meets Hearthstone, and the art style is incredible, and it moves fast, and it looks fucking cool, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's like these old school developers who are going indie to like make these games. Like, do you think maybe they're having like these
They're
thoughts,
getting like intimidated, or
yeah, like think about Inafune making Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this? I talked about
a little bit,
I talked about it with somebody, but it's like Mighty Number 9, yeah, it kind of looks like Mega Man, but it also kind of doesn't look as cool as all these other things on Kickstarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like how relevant, and I don't want to say this about these people that that made these games that I love, but I bet there's like a fear there. You know what I mean?
They're like the old guard. They
the
came
old
up at a
guard.
time where there was no indie game development.
Yeah.
And now it's
Yeah.
so easy for anyone with a cool idea. Well,
Yeah.
it's not so easy, but there's more
It's easier.
access. There's more
Yes.
access for people with
It's
like,
much
these really
easier.
cool ideas
Yeah.
to get them out there. And they probably are feeling a little left behind.
It's possible. Yeah.
Left Behind.
Left behind. That's
was
a
good.
great piece of DLC.
Crispy,
Hey.
what do you have for us?
Oh God. Okay, guys. So
Tug on the
on
heartstrings.
the 27th, a few days ago, Leonard Nimoy died. He was 83 years old. He died of what was it called?
Cardio something.
Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
There you go.
He was in the hospital.
It's like a heart attack?
He was earlier in February. He had announced that he'd been diagnosed, and he went in the hospital a few days before he died. But he actually died at home. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know exactly what that is. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what it is,
Well,
but it has
Jesus,
to do.
Wait,
with
you're not a doctor?
It has to do with the pulmonariness
He's a pool man.
of the things. What?
That was dumb.
Yeah.
But the other part of that, the kind of more video gamey related part of that, is that both Cloud Imperium Games, makers of Star Citizen, and whoever the fuck does Danger Elite, I can't remember off the top of my head, have announced that they're going to be doing in-game. They are going to include in-game tributes to Leonard Nimoy in their game. So Star Citizen, obviously, when it launches, I don't know when Danger Elite's going to get theirs going, but Star Trek Online over the weekend did this big like kind of memorial service for Leonard Nimoy in game, and I mean he was 83, but like that's still really fucking sad. Like
It's sad.
Star Trek, that's me. It's like why did you take Leonard Nimoy and you left William Shatner? Like why did you do that? Like this is a horrible world.
The point is, we're getting older, and all these people we grew up watching are
passing
turning
away.
80.
You went to high school with.
What the hell, Crispy?
Hey, dude.
How is Clint
Fuck
Eastwood
Bill
still
Shatner.
alive
Like-
and making 3 movies a year?
That's
That's what
true.
I want to know.
I don't know.
Because he is a warm-blooded red American Republican.
Red America.
I was like red blue, but he's not red. Yeah.
My God, Crispy.
It's really sad. It's really sad, but
Is it?
them's the
When I
breaks.
saw that news, I thought of you first.
dude.
I would probably think of his family, but hey, Crispy's okay.
I'm the closest thing to his family that you know.
That's probably not
Because I was a fan.
Oh
Family.
man.
it's really sad. But there you go.
Well, way to bring us down.
Sorry,
Crispy.
guys. I'm sorry.
Live long and prosper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he
Long and
said.
prosper.
Live long and prosper.
He did.
All right.
did.
So Nolan,
What up?
it's that time of the show.
Oh, my news topic?
No, it's the community segment.
Woo! It's time for community.
Let's try and let's bring ourselves out of these sadness
Community.
pits that Crispy put us
With
in.
the fun
Sorry,
community. All right. So, like we have been doing for the past several weeks, we'd like to thank our patrons. People who have been supporting us on Patreon. So I'm going to go through 10 of those today.
We'll catch up eventually, guys.
Yeah,
we promise.
we're getting there. We're getting there. So we have Daniel.
Daniel.
We have Rainflake.
Whoa, is that a real? That's just a username.
Probably.
That'd be a cool name though.
Barack.
Barack. I know.
B-U-R-A-K.
Wait, say it again.
B-U-R-A-K.
I'm gonna go with Barack.
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 It's Barack Obama. Marcus T.
Low hanging fruit, Nolan.
Yeah. Adam R. Justin K. Dave.
Just in case. Sorry.
Yes. Colleen. Chris Pratt.
What? It's like
And Alex D.
Alex D. All right, guys.
So we appreciate all of you supporting us on Patreon.
You guys made February a fucking phenomenal month. You and our subscribers, obviously. Everyone who listens, who watches, and supports us in some way, whether it's monetary or not, you made February a pretty awesome month for us.
Definitely. We appreciate it more than you'll ever know.
More than you'll ever know. Well, we're going to try and let you know by giving back.
Yeah, we're trying.
Giving back. The second episode of my Silent Hill 2 Let's Play is up for subscribers and for patrons on the activity feed. This is the second week in a row I meant to bring up Silent Hill HD Collection, and I never did.
Also, there's a top 5 on its way.
There's a top 5 on its way. We were going to try and get it up last weekend, but there was a technical problem that prevented us from recording the footage that we needed. But we have that figured out now, so that'll be coming this weekend. So you can expect another Let's Play episode and a top 5 this Sunday.
Cute. Real quick,
and probably at dinner time.
Every week we are going to feature a forum from the site where you hopefully all like to go and talk to each other and do
You mean
things.
on 4playernetwork.com?
Correct. The things you forum people do.
You weird forum folk.
Hey, I've been posting at least once a day in the lewd thread.
In the lewd thread. No one just goes back to the lewd thread once a day and I'll just leave this here.
So the thread I wanted to bring up today was actually the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain thread that was started by Big Wazoo.
Big Wazoo.
Yep. It's one of those threads where people will just, when a game's coming out and you create a thread and everyone can go in there and talk about it, talk about the new announcements. And that's where,
That's going to be an active thread tomorrow, I think.
When it got announced yesterday that when that site went up, with Snake and the Phantom Cigar, and it was definitely posted in there and gets people talking. And that's definitely get excited about the game. Maybe, I don't know, we'll probably start a separate thread once the online comes out, because I'm sure some people might want to play that. Yeah. But yeah, you should check out that thread.
Cool.
And comment your opinions on Metal Gear Solid 5. What do you think about the release date?
Yay.
Not soon enough is what a lot of people are going to say, probably.
Yeah.
But hey.
Is that surprising that it's September 1st?
Well, so one of the things was there was a pretty prominent, I don't know how prominent he was, poster on NeoGAF who was saying like he knows it's June. Oh. He's like, I swear to God it's June. He's been saying this for a while now. And then everyone's like, what happened to June?
That person's a troll.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, I don't want any Metal Gear anywhere near my Batman. Because Batman's going to be
there's so much to work on before September.
June is E3 and Batman.
Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, Witcher, Batman. Dude, that new Batman trailer.
The new Batman trailer was pretty good.
So
I won't lie. I like that. That was good.
Scarecrow. I swear to God, if fucking Joker's under that Scarecrow mask, I'm going to kill somebody.
I like how he says that while he's still laughing. That's very jokery of you.
A little bit.
No, that would piss me off. Anyway.
Did you ever see that one? I just saw like a blip from a Batman comic, and it was some kid, and he was excited because he got good grades, and now his dad would be happy that he got straight A's instead of C's, and then Joker runs up and steals his report card, and he's like, "Now your dad will never know," and he like runs away.
But that sounds awesome.
Yes, it's fucking awesome. That's his evil plan, is to steal some kid's report card so his dad gets mad at him.
Fuck you, kid.
All right, so also every week we're going to be answering a few questions that y'all post on the Patreon activity feed.
Yep, and those have been climbing.
What's a Patreon?
What's a Patreon?
So yeah, we had a bunch this week, and unfortunately we can't answer them all, so we can only grab a few, but feel free, if we don't answer your question, to post it again. We might get to it, and if you post it like 4 or 5 times and we don't get to it, we probably just don't want to answer it. That's the truth.
Yeah, it's probably stupid.
All right, so our first question this week is from...
But that shouldn't stop you.
A bunch of random letters. I don't know.
Wait, really? Let me see.
P-I-O...
Oh, Piosh.
Piosh.
Pioshed.
P-I-O-S-H-F-D.
Pioshed.
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 He lives by a fjord.
All right, their question is, we grew up with a lot of franchises that we hold near and dear to our hearts, but sometimes those franchises grow into games we don't necessarily agree with. Even if we don't think a franchise is going in the right direction, should we still support it, or should we just let the series die out?
This is a hard question to answer, because sometimes it goes too far.
Yeah.
Lords of Shadow.
But at least you tried playing those games. You didn't support them monetarily, though. You never bought those
that's
games.
the thing. That's the question. I mean, if they don't get any support, does the publisher just hang it up for good?
Do they get the the note that people aren't liking where you're going, or do they just think, oh, people don't like this game anymore and stop making it?
And you know, for me, it kind of depends on that level of like love you have for that franchise. But like, there is a point where you cross like for instance, Silent Hill's a big one for me. Obviously, that has been there was a big rift in that franchise after it was sent to the West to be developed. Right, a lot of those games people don't like very much. I happen to like them. I've played all of them, all the main entries in that series, and I've liked most of them. I think Homecoming might be the exception. I've liked almost all of them for one reason or another, and like until I hit a point where like I consistently dislike the direction they're going with the franchise. Like I feel like Resident Evil has hit that point with me.
Yeah,
Resident Evil is a point where like I am no longer willing to fork over the money. Like I paid $5 to try out Revelations 2, and I'm seriously wondering whether I'm going to shell out the money to get the second one, or if I want to just wait until later and rent the disc once it's out, or maybe even buy the disc used. It's just one of those things where if you're going to pay money for it, at some point that's sending a message to
Correct.
Capcom, and Resident Evil is one of those franchises for me where I think I've hit that wall.
So one of the things, I mean, one of the series that kind of goes with that is Assassin's Creed for me. Is I loved 2 and Brotherhood, and Revelations, in my opinion, was good. And then 3 just took that fucking nosedive and it turned into poo-poo. But then in 4 and Unity, they started introducing this rating system. That at the end of every like main story mission, they're like, what did you think of this? You know, give it a rating. And I noticed that from 4 to Unity, they took out some of like the chasing missions and stuff like that, because I'm sure people like rated them poorly.
So to a degree, they're paying attention.
Yes, and so I honestly want other developers to kind of look into that. The problem is, if the game isn't structured in a way, it would be very easy to kind of at the end of a mission kind of ask you how it went. There are some games you just can't do that. I mean, if it's a level-based game, you could, but if it's like just like an open world game, that's a little bit harder to do. But I really like that idea, and I hope more developers try and implement that if it's a series that's going to be ongoing. That kind of, you know, if everyone gives this one mission a 1-star rating, maybe don't do that type of mission again, because that's not what people like.
It's weird. Like, they need to do the star rating system at the very like end of the credits.
Yeah.
Rate this game.
Okay. That's a big one for me too, is Assassin's Creed, and I think it is good that they added that system in so that they could get an idea of like what people do like and what people don't like. But on like at a bigger perspective, I think that's symptomatic of a studio that legitimately, without direction, doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
And like every time you play one of those story missions, you get to the end of this, and it's like the developers are popping up and being like, did we do good on that one? Did we do good? Like, imagine if you're reading a fucking ebook. Like, Winds of Winter comes out, and at the end of every chapter, they're like, did you like that chapter? Oh, we'll do more Jon Snow chapters. Oh, we'll do more Daenerys chapters.
Yeah.
We won't do as many Jaime chapters, or, you know, shit like that. It like, pulls you out of this experience to be like, is this game still good? Because you know they're already working on the one that's coming out next year. Like, they're sitting there taking this data in immediately and, like, applying it to the one that they're trying to mint out for 10 months from now.
It'd be funny if that rating system directly affected funding that certain teams get.
It's
like
good.
as soon as you drop below a point, they're like, no, you're done.
It's good in the sense that you know they're just going to be pumping out a new one every fucking year anyway, so you want it to at least be as good as it can be. But at the end of the day, it's like it's a sign of this like development ecosystem that like really kind of fucking sucks.
You are absolutely right.
I agree.
Let's get back to the topic a little bit.
Yeah.
About
I do agree.
Do you support it or not? I mean, do you?
It's hard. It's hard. Like in a general sense, it's hard to support it and say like, yeah, I think this is great, because it kind of indicates that like this series is in trouble and they're trying to figure out a way to keep it afloat every single year.
The answer is no, man.
Yeah. I don't like it because I'm at the point now where I'm not sure that I'm gonna buy every single. Like there was a time where I was gonna buy every single Assassin's Creed game that came out, and now I'm not sure about that. So now things like that system, while on in a short term, like small scale, seem to make sense and seem like a good idea. In the long term, it's just kind of representative of everything that I find really distasteful about Assassin's Creed.
Maybe it depends on the franchise. I feel like Ubisoft is not just gonna like forget Assassin's Creed altogether because this one sold a little bit
they
less.
definitely
It's
won't.
probably going to push them
No,
to
but,
kinda
like, there's
try
a-
some new ideas.
But not everybody wants them to. But like, at the same time, like Unity was such a disaster. Someone like me, who was yes, absolutely every main entry Assassin's Creed game for me was a day one purchase, and it was that way all the way up until Unity. And
It's like
Unity,
paying rent. Jesus
and-
Christ.
Yeah.
Unity was such a disaster that next year's Assassin's Creed, which is honestly that we already know what it is. Like it's honestly like it's one of those settings, one of those time periods that I've looked forward to for the longest time.
like-
I'm not going to buy it
That's
day
the
one.
way that like fucking Domino's does pizza now. You know, you're like they have a little meter that's like, we're working on your pizza right now. They might as well have a fucking meter in the menu of last year's Assassin's Creed game that's like, we're working on next Assassin's Creed. Like Necromancer in chat brings up a good point. They should just put up like a dude's face at the end of the mission and be like, hey, this is the guy that designed that mission. Did we fire him? Like, what the fuck is that?
It is weird. I think Assassin's Creed's a pretty unique case, though.
They're all tour left, and that's why it's like that now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't fucking know. It's sad.
It's weird, but like, I mean, we're kind of getting away from
Don't give
the
him your
main
money.
question.
That I mean, that's the most prime example, kind of fitting to what he's saying there. I mean,
Because
like,
like, is it
to
really,
a lesser extent, like when Batman Arkham Origins came out, I got really worried because I was like, I don't want this game to do like too well because it kind of gets away
there's
from what
a
I
really
like about
weird.
that series.
There's a really weird, like, fine line to be drawn here, though, because while you make a very good point about Assassin's Creed, and, like, the answer should probably be, in most cases, no, don't support, if you don't like the game, don't support it, but, like, at the same time, like, a game like Silent Hill, for me, like, I will absolutely buy every game in that series, because I just don't want it to fucking die. Like, I would rather have it, I would rather have them keep trying,
And
failing than have it just disappear completely. Because one day they might fucking hit it. Like, look at how many Dragon Ball Z games you said came out.
But what happens when they come out with one and it sells because, hey, they actually marketed it this time, and then they think that that's the route to go? Like, Lords of Shadows was moderately successful.
You mean like Resident Evil 4?
Because... No, I'm saying like a game that fucking sucks, but because they marketed the hell out of it, the publisher think that that's what people want because people actually bought the fucking game, like Lords of Shadows. And then we got 2 more Lords of Shadows game, and no one actually cared because they don't really like Lords of Shadows. They just bought it.
Nick,
That's why the answer to this question is so complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated.
The problem, I think, with your argument of like I'd rather them keep trying and failing just to keep the series around is that eventually that mediocrity becomes so commonplace you stop expecting good things from that series, and then when they put out a game that's like okay, you're like, oh my god, finally not a shit fest, and then that series never elevates back to where it was. It never has a chance to be anything great again because the fact that it doesn't suck is good enough.
That's kind of where I feel like Resident Evil's at now. Like, if we just like people are talking about this Revelations 2, which is, you know, hey, you compare that to 4 or even 5, I think it's a complete fucking joke. But 6 was so fucking shit that you know, in fucking Operation Raccoon City, I'm just saying the Resident Evil name has been dragged through the mud that people were like, hey, it's solid, right? Because Resident Evil's supposed to be solid. No! Resident Evil's supposed to be the best, you fucker. Oh, you know what the worst is, though? The worst is when a publisher says, hey, if you want to see another one, you better buy this one. That's the worst, because then they try to fucking guilt you into it.
Yeah.
And that's when I want to, like when Ubisoft was saying, hey, you want to see Beyond Good and Evil 2? You better buy this Rayman game. They actually said that.
Yeah, they did.
They actually fucking said that.
Yeah.
Weren't we at the press conference or whatever when they said that?
God. Oh, my God.
That's like infuriating.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But that Rayman game was pretty cool. Like,
anyways, I'm sorry. Resident Evil 4, one of the greatest.
Well, this question's gone on for
It's a really
little while.
complicated
Yeah,
question.
I'm sorry.
But I hope
No, that's
I'm
fine.
sorry. It was.
I had actually quite like 3 more questions. We're not going to be able to get to all of them
Let's do
today.
one more.
We'll do one
We can
more. Yeah,
next
no,
week,
we'll
right?
we'll do one more.
Send your hate mail to Pius.
Oh yes. We'll do. Is there any games you've seen in other media, such as films, TVs, books, etc., that you wish was real and you could play?
Wait, what?
So, like, you watched a movie or a TV show or something, in that they had like a fake game, like a not real game, or
Like
maybe
Light Gun Rage?
I can answer that question really fast. No.
really.
The holodeck in Star Trek. Or like what is the island in Ready Player One?
Oh, the Oasis.
The Oasis.
Yeah, so that was gonna be the one I wanted to bring up in the book.
But that's not even like
Ready Player
game.
One.
That's just
Well,
like-
it is a game to an extent.
Yeah.
That it's an interface that you can go in and do anything, and it's just like all that kind of concept.
There was
you can
that
have
one,
your own bases and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I still got nothing. I was just thinking about like there was one more recent. There was one of the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies where it opened with him in like some virtual reality like scenario where he's going around, and like that was really cool. It was like that's
the
just
glasses.
I was like, but that's just a just a first person shooter. At that point, no, I don't want to play that.
Just go play Bloodstone.
Go play Bloodstone, you son of a bitch.
Brad, do you have any? Can you think of any?
For the record, you brought that up, not me.
This is kind of a game, the question that you kind of really need more time
There's
to think
a
about.
lot of cool movies from like the 80s and shit.
Yeah, I was trying to picture back like almost like Tron like thing.
But Tron
like,
is a game.
Yeah, I know.
They made plenty of Tron
Yeah,
games.
that were goofy.
Every time I think about like fake games,
From Dot Hack, they had the world MMO in Dot Hack. I always thought that would be cool if that was an actual.
I got the
MMO.
answer. That's not an answer, so I'm going to interrupt you. Dude,
Okay.
that game from Her seemed really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the
yeah,
AI was
yeah.
like fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I'd play that game.
That'd be cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like really sarcastic, witty AI.
Yeah.
That's potential. Yeah.
That game from Her.
Yep.
You watched Her, right, Crispy?
No, I haven't seen it.
That's a good game. I watched it on my flight to Europe, I think.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
All right, so if we didn't get to your question, feel free to ask again next week, because now we got to move on to Chatter of the Week. Yay!
Chatter of the Week.
It's the Chatter of the Week.
Wait, should we announce Sub of the Month first?
Oh, yeah,
because we haven't done that
We're gonna do it last.
Subscriber of the month this month is Tokubab. Woo!
Tokubab! Supporter of the month is Tokubab.
Supporter of the month, because subscriber of the month has been expanded to include not only Twitch subscribers but patrons from Patreon. So if you are one of those at the $5 level or higher, you are also included in the drawing. Just putting that out there.
Congratulations, Tokubab.
Congratulations, Tokubap. We will be, contacting you shortly. If you
by carrier pigeon.
But if you happen to hear about it before we contact you, can also preempt it by emailing us, any one of us, and just let us know which games you would be interested in watching us play. Nolan's probably the best point of contact for that. We'll be scheduling a month, which you can find once it's announced. It'll be on the calendar on 4playernetwork.com. So you'll be able to know ahead of time when we're going to do our subscriber broadcast. You can come hang out. Depending on what you play, might determine how those broadcasts work. I don't know why y'all are touching.
I saw Crispy
fingers.
doing that, and I did like this little like cocktail weenie thing.
Y'all are weird.
You know what I'm talking about, Nick?
Congratulations, Tokyo.
Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're
It's when you put your two fingers together, but you look past your fingers, and there's like a little like cocktail weenie in between them. There's like, just do it, Nick. Put your two fingers together, and then look past them. Do you not see like
the cocktail weenie?
What are you talking about? What are we doing?
I don't know where to focus.
like just past? He got it.
Oh,
Crispy got
both
it.
eyes. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. It's a little weenie just floating there.
Just look past.
Oh, I see it!
It gets longer and shorter and longer and shorter.
That was
It's a weenie made of your fingertips.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh my
you're
God.
welcome, everybody. All right, so Chatter of the Week. This is part of the show where we pit two chatters against each other in an all-out brawl of chatterness and how big their
It's like a little Vienna sausage.
how big their little cocktail weenie can be. So this week, our first chatter is Brent from Ottawa,
British.
Ontario.
Nope.
That was the weirdest thing we've ever done. Like, never mind. Sorry, continue.
All right,
Brent,
chat
Can you do that
name-
with two cocks?
You could.
Big.
I'm just trying to picture.
No, stop it. Just stop trying to picture it.
Yep. Not a porn site. Lava Rave and Lava Rave. He says, "Hey guys, I don't chat often, but I've been watching since the days of Condemned. Funny story that might make you guys feel old, Brad. I wasn't even in high school yet when I started watching and listening to 4PP, and now I've graduated from college.
Damn.
Damn.
God, we're old. guys.
We're helping kids grow up.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't have been watching when you were so young.
We
Well,
cuss,
no,
we
you
cuss
were in
like
middle
sailors.
It is questionable.
All right, Lava Rave's Shameful Secrets.
Hey, Lava Ray is in chat.
Woo! Thanks for showing up.
I've literally never seen that name in chat before.
I've been a Final Fantasy fan. Sorry, not man. I've been a Final Fantasy fan my whole life. I've played every numbered game in the series, plus the vast majority of spin-offs, and I've enjoyed pretty much all of them. That being said, despite dozens of attempts at every Final Fantasy from 1 to 13.3, the only numbered Final Fantasy I've never been able to finish is 13.2.
I finished that.
You did. Congratulations.
And you also really like Singularity.
Go fuck yourself. Oh, don't forget Bloodstone.
And Bloodstone.
Yes. Lava Rave's greatest gaming achievement. Achieving a perfect playthrough in Atelier, Escha, and Atelier.
We just went over this.
Yeah, we did go over this.
Atelier.
Is that developed by
Atelier,
Mark
Escha,
Kitzler,
and
Mark
Logi,
Pilier.
Alchemist of the Dusk Sky.
Sky.
Without the use of a walkthrough on my first playthrough. That means getting every character, all of the ultimate equipment for every character, every event, every possible ending, crafting every possible item, and killing every optional boss, including the post-game bosses. The reason I think this playthrough is such an achievement is that the PS3 Atelier games all have a time limit. In this case, 3 years.
I'm out.
And every action you take, be it traveling, crafting, gathering materials, fighting enemies, etc., costs you days off that time limit, leaving very little room for error if you're attempting to get everything before you New Game Plus. That's his.
I'm out.
It reminds me of Dragon Quest V, actually. I mean, Breath of Fire 5.
Kind of makes me think of Lightning Returns.
Yeah. Breath of Fire 5, every fucking action you did took time off of your life.
Like farting.
And if you did like a limit break, that was like a lot of time. It was cool. But yeah, go ahead.
You know the game I always wanted to play? I'm sorry.
What?
What was that? Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter?
Quickly.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what he's talking about.
Continue.
Lava Rave's top 5 games of all time. Number 5.
Atelier.
Solatarobo.
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 That's an interesting choice.
Solata.
Red the Hunter. Number
Wow,
4.
that's one for the DSi.
Number 4. Gravity.
Rush? No, wait.
Gravity, the game.
It's gotta be Gravity Rush.
Gravity
What the
Rush.
fuck else is it gonna be?
Gravity, based off the movie Gravity.
Gravity
Gravity
game.
Rush.
That was a pretty cool
iOS.
game.
Number 3. Persona.
I'm gonna guess 4.
Three.
Crispy has no idea.
Persona
either way.
4 Golden.
He has to.
Which
He's
is
really young.
Persona 4. Number 2. Metal Gear.
Solid.
I was gonna go with Slug.
3.
Metal Gear Solid.
Solid 3.
3. Yeah,
Snake
3.
Eater.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh. Or not.
And his number 1 game of all time is Atelier.
Aisha?
The thing you said earlier.
Totori, Rorona.
Roshu.
Aisha, the
Vesteria.
Alchemist of Dust.
I didn't even know what that game was, and I got it right.
Good job. And this week, Lava Rave is up against Jimmy,
Jimmy.
Good old Jimmy.
also known as MGS2 Master 2.
Oh, is this the first time? I'm sorry.
Apparently.
I don't think so.
Yeah. The
It could not be the first
time you send it to me, at least. From Palmdale, California, a.k.a. the middle of a damn desert.
Middle of the damn desert. All right.
But it's got palms.
Shameful secret. Rule 34 for Final Fantasy VII when I was a kid. It led to unspeakable things. One time I caught my brother in a
13.
super perv moment.
Wait, what is Rule 34?
It's naked people. It's like if anything exists, there's porn for it on the internet.
Yes,
Oh.
that's exactly what
Red
it is.
13 porn.
Which led to him doing something behind bathroom doors. He loved Final Fantasy games until I caught him that day. He never touched a Final Fantasy game ever again after that date. I kind of stopped being a VG perv after this myself, too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that you don't know what Rule 34 is.
I just feel that violated every day.
It's just part of your life. You don't have a
This
game.
is part of my life.
It's like breathing.
He's like, oh, I call that life.
To people out of all people, I have no fucking clue. I'm not one of. I'm not an internet nerd. Says the guy on a video game podcast on the internet.
Greatest gaming achievement. So a childhood friend, basically my other younger brother, known him since birth, was a huge Final Fantasy fan with me. We decided we were going to finish that game together because we were waiting for it.
Wait, which game?
Fantasy?
Which Final Fantasy? MGS, which Final Fantasy? You're in chat.
I think 10. Yeah, I believe 10. Final Fantasy X.
Okay. 10.
We got to the near end of the game inside Sin before the last few boss battles. One weekend, he went to see his girlfriend out of town, rode a train to see her. On the return ride back home, I was supposed to pick him up. We got the news that the train had crashed and derailed. He was one of the people who died in the accident.
Jesus.
Whoa, it took a dark turn.
Yeah, I was devastated and put the game back on the back burner for years. I eventually went back to the game, and the ending speech tore into me. I think it was the only game that actually made me cry because of a message than the emotions that it brought up of my other little brother. That's why I hold Final Fantasy X such a close place in my heart.
Holy shit.
I consider this my greatest gaming achievement because it was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
That is deep.
A little bit.
And dark.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Goddamn.
MGS top 5 games of all time. Number 5.
Lava Ray's like, fucking about.
Number 5, RoboCop.
RoboCop?
RoboCop?
With
2 where he fights the robot that's addicted to drugs?
Yes.
RoboCop versus Terminator for the SNES.
What?
Apparently that's a game. Number 4, Persona.
4.
4. Number 3.
Which I'm playing on Friday, by the way.
Number 3, Final Fantasy.
10.
Wait. Is that going to be 1? I'm going to say it's 10. It's probably 10.
Brad?
10.
10.
Okay.
Despite my greatest game achievement, it's not my number 1. Number 2, Final Fantasy.
10 2.
9?
7.
Tactics.
The correct game, Final Fantasy 8.
Oh.
And his
than
number
10,
1
huh?
game of all time
This is a Final Fantasy, so help me God.
is Final Fantasy.
Really? Really? 3 in the top 5.
6.
Why don't you just pull a Brad and just Final Fantasy and then just number them off?
9.
That's all my...
Final Fantasy 9.
I'm going to go with 9. It better be 9. It better be 9. It's no, because the smile on Nolan's face right now tells me it's not 9.
It's 7.
I'm going to go with
It's 7.
Crisis Core.
12?
Crisis Core.
I don't know.
Wait. 13?
Oh my god. Just what?
Final Fantasy Crisis Core.
Oh.
What? Really?
Yes. That was like your third guess.
What? Still, no one else said it. I win. Fuck you.
Yes.
It's really Crisis
Wow.
Core.
Yes. He has no Metal Gear Solid games in his top 5 games.
MGS has no Metal Gear Solid games in its top
I
5.
fucking hate Crisis Core.
He didn't even like Metal Gear Solid 2.
I played
So
Crisis
we
Core.
have Lava Rave versus MGS2 Master.
Well.
I'm a little disappointed there's no Metal Gear game.
I'm a little disappointed that
He's like, that was a
Crisis
touching
Core is his
story, but
favorite
where the
game.
fuck is Metal Gear? Lava Ray wins.
Where's MGS2?
Where is he?
Question. On his list.
Yeah,
Oh, where is it? Metal Gear Solid 2.
he's supposed to be the master.
Well, he's in chat right now. MGS, where does Metal Gear Solid 2 fall on your top 10? That's what I want to know. I'm assuming it's in your top 10.
Hey, I'm just good at it. I don't like it that much.
I'm going to give it to MGS. That was a good story. Good story. And I applaud Final Fantasy 8 being ranked higher than 10, even though it's unusual. But that's okay.
It's a good game.
9 is the better one, though.
I have played more games on MGS's list than I have
It's number 7 on his list, by the way.
on what was Brent?
Lava Rave, yeah.
Yeah.
Lava Rave actually has a Metal Gear game on his
He
list.
does.
Crisis Core, though, man. Like MGS2, you a bro, but come on, man.
You crazy.
Crisis Core, I hate that game.
Hey, I played it. It wasn't terrible.
It's a troll.
I fucking hate that game, dude. That's like one of the first Final Fantasy games I played where I realized, like, dude, shit's gotten bad. Like, the writing in that game sucked.
The writing was kind of poopy.
I mean, this... And everyone talks about the
the-
ending of that game being so sad.
I felt that way about Resident Evil 5.
Final Fantasy's a fucking RPG. You grew up loving those stories.
Sure.
You know,
Lava
there's
Rave versus MGS2.
Come on, damn it. Take your pick.
Lava.
I can't, Crisis
Crispy?
Core?
I'm gonna do MGS just because I guessed Crisis Core.
Oh, wait, what is
Lava Rave's.
Lava Ray's number 1?
Atelier.
Oh.
Aisha.
I don't know. I mean, I've never played an Atelier game.
Neither have I.
But I think I played some But Crisis Core, dog.
They both have Persona 4 on their
The
list.
fucking slot machine. Well, hey, they're young, but what are you gonna do? Sorry.
My God. Brad. Or Nolan's
make
choice.
your
right?
choice.
I was gonna give it to Lava Rave, so that's a tie.
Yes.
We gotta flip a coin or
I'm
something.
Thank
I don't
God.
have a
I don't have to
coin.
feel bad. Let's flip a coin.
I don't have a
We
coin
don't
on
have
me.
a coin?
No.
Oh God, they both win.
No,
Random number generator.
This is unprecedented. They both win.
well, we used to have that Pog.
Yeah, what happened to that Pog I gave you?
Chris
God
Davis,
damn
bring
it,
us a
Brian.
coin.
That was one of my favorite Pogs too.
Right?
Power Ranger one?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you walked in the door right now with a coin?
But Power Rangers are on the news. Red Ranger killed someone.
Wait,
I don't have a
No.
coin, but I got a bottle cap.
I'll
See,
take
you
it.
That's-
say
no, that's
you
not
say
uniform.
Red Ranger killed someone, but
That's-
it wasn't like the
that's-
Red Ranger. It was Red Ranger from like
That's
Wild
that's
Force
not
or
actually fair.
Oh, wait.
There's a coin. We got a coin. Oh my God.
Hi,
Hide.
go away.
something. We're crawling on the floor for
We're
coins.
recording. Hi, go away.
We're poor.
All right. It's a dime, but hey, it'll work. All right. Who's going to be heads? Heads is Lava Ray.
Yes.
Oh. It's tails.
It's tails.
It's tails. Except
right.
it's when I lifted my hand up, it stuck to it and it flipped
Why
over.
would you say
Really?
that? No,
Oh,
you
so
can't
they
do
want
that.
to win.
Let's try it again.
Why do you have to?
But you
fucking-
already said that.
Why do you have to have such
God.
fucking sticky, hairy hands?
Heads.
Okay, so Lava Rave.
Lava Ray won.
Oh, clutched. The last. You,
so
already, you were giving the trophy to MGS and said, "Fuck you."
No, I'm just. I'm an honest person. What can I
Oh,
say?
man.
Don't hate me,
Dude, he
MGS.
put
I'm
his
just
all
honest.
into that too.
I hate.
And you
hey,
were just like,
I'm so
fuck.
glad I didn't have to flip that coin
Hey.
and fuck it up.
I voted for MGS, and then but I am an honest person. so
MGS, send your angry emails to Nick Henderson at 4Player.
Congratulations,
this is too much pressure.
Lava Rave. You are the winner of Chatter of the Week. If you would like to be entered in Chatter of the Week, just go to 4playernetwork.com. There's a big old Chatter of the Week button. Click on that, fill it out, and that's all you got to do.
That is it. It's that simple. And before we wrap up the show, I just want to quickly remind everybody, we did also this week not only announce our 400th podcast, our 400th episode celebration.
That went into my shoe.
damn it, guys.
That dime went into my shoe. It is inside my shoe.
Just like
right
I
now.
planned.
We announced we're on March 14th. We're hosting our celebratory 400th podcast. We're going to be doing a variety show. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a 400-minute podcast. We're going to be playing games and podcasting at the same time. It's going to be magical. So please come hang out here on Saturday, March 14th. Also, next Tuesday, in the place of the regular podcast, we're going to be doing our first board game night. Brought to you by our patrons.
Board game.
We're typically not.
Board game.
We're typically probably not going to do this in place of the podcast, but because we already kind of went past episode 400, we decided, and because of some scheduling conflicts, we decided to go ahead and do it on Tuesday night.
So don't play anything too exciting this week, guys.
I'll try. I'm just gonna play a lot of Dying Light, and the Talos Principle. God, that game is good. Sorry. All right, let's go wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. Y'all know what to do. Brad,
Yes.
take it away. Keep it in a minute.
All right. I had what's the 4-player minute?
Hype, sweat.
Nope. Mine are 4 fuck yous, and they all go to me. So fuck me for playing 0 minutes of Majora's Mask in the past 2 weeks. I played about an hour of that game. I was really excited. I was really fucking excited. In fact, I bought that fucking stick mostly for Majora's Mask. My other fuck me goes to the week for Metroid Prime 2. I played a bunch of that last night, but oh my god, that is not the game you just randomly put down. Because I turned that on, I had no idea what the fuck was happening. That's multiple times I've done that. I need to just get through that game because holy shit. My other fuck me goes to me because this game. Well, no, I'll do this one. First of all, I watched a really sad thread. I was on NeoGAF. There's a thread for like sad game endings or something. I actually read MGS2. This is kind of weird. I read his sad story on NeoGAF because he posted that in the sad moments thread. But so I've heard it before. But yeah, this was just the other day. I will say that. So I watched the Valiant Hearts ending.
Oh.
Because everyone was talking about it.
Why
and
would
I
you
was
spoil
like,
that?
I really don't want to play this game. I don't own it. I'm probably
It's
not going
free
to
on
buy it.
PlayStation. Oh, that's
So my fuck me goes to, hey, a day later they announced it's free on PlayStation Plus, and god damn it. And now I know the ending.
Oh, I'm glad I know.
Which is sad. And my final fuck me goes to
Fuck me.
this game called Hyper Devotion Noir.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a game for the Vita, which I now own a PlayStation TV, so I could definitely play it. And it popped back into my consciousness, my recollection, about a day after it would have shipped from GameFly, so I didn't have time to like get it in there in time, and now it's a low availability. The thing is, like over a year ago, I did this game on Trailer Talk in some weird Japanese game episode. I didn't even know what it was. But I remember like, oh, this is silly. And they started showing some gameplay, and it was like a strategy RPG. And they started doing some cool stuff with like the level design and manipulation of it. And I was like, wow, that actually looks kind of cool. And then it left my memory. I had no idea what it was. And then I watched a trailer for this new game that just came out, and it's that fucking game. They localized it, and it's getting pretty solid reviews. And it's made by Sting, a developer that I actually like. They made Riviera and Yggdra Union and Knights in the Nightmare. Like they made really good like GBA games, and now I can't. So fuck me, and fuck everyone for not telling me that I should care about this game, because it actually looks kind of cool. But yeah,
cool. My 4-player man starts now. My hype, it's for Metal Gear Solid 5. Just that announcement. Oh, I'm getting fucking excited.
What if the announcement comes tomorrow and it's like December? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
Nick.
I don't know why I said that.
My sweat is for Dragonball Xenoverse. Like, fuck you to Gamefly for one thing. It's been on my GameCube for fucking ever, and it's low availability right now. Go fuck yourself, Gamefly. It's not low availability, it's no availability. Would you fucking say it's low and then not ship it for a goddamn week? Like, ugh, fuck you. That's not my real fuck you. My real fuck you goes to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Nintendo. There's like so many little changes they made in Majora's Mask. Speaking of, I just, on the break in between this podcast, got the 23rd mask. The 24th one you get after you get all 23. So now I have collected all the masks, and I'm about to go fight the final battle. And they change so many little things. Like, they're just like frustrating.
Like, I feel like if I played a Symphony of the Night reboot and they like changed some bosses, I'd be like, oh, this is cool. I've never seen this before. It's like
little things like the Goron. You can transform into Goron, and you do this like rolling move.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be you have to hold it down, but now it's like you have to tap it. It's a toggle on and off. And like, I've killed myself so many times because I'm trying to stop, but I have to fucking like toggle it and shit. And then like one of the best fights from Majora's Mask is the Twin Molds fight. Right before the fight on N64, you get the Giant's Mask. When you put on the Giant's Mask, your magic gets depleted really quickly, but you literally become a giant Link. And you're like huge, and you have a fucking sword, and you're fighting him. And this one, they fucking... First of all, you get the mask halfway through the fight. And then when you transform, you don't even have your sword. You're fucking like punching it. It's like Link punching the fucking like thing. It's
why would they change some of that stuff?
I don't know. It's weird.
Resources?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And then my thank you goes to the only fuck you 23 people who voted in my poll. Only 23 people. Yes, I did. I fucking tweeted it, and I put it in my blog, my fucking blog post, and I had the 4Player account retweet it, and then I fucking said it the other day, and then only 23 people.
You gotta pimp it while you're broadcasting. That's the best way to do it.
I'm not broadcasting until Thursday.
Pimp it. Or have Brad pimp it.
I did. I talked about it last night when I was broadcasting.
Only 23 people.
Y'all heard it? Wait, is it still going?
Yes.
It's still going.
I'm trying to determine the next game the next Let's Play essentially that I'm gonna do.
The vote's still there. If someone could post a link in chat, that'd be great.
And the poll closes on Friday because I need to record the first episode this weekend.
Do you know how to close a poll? Because I've been doing these polls forever and I could never figure out how to close them.
Nah, I was just gonna like stop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like fucking screenshot right here. That's the winner.
Crispy?
Okay, my hype is for month of Bloodborne. Oh my god, it's this month. Bloodborne comes out this.
What if it's terrible? I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that.
It's not gonna be though. It's not gonna be.
I bet you're gonna hate it.
Why?
He's just mad because people keep telling him that about The Witcher.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. People telling you that, huh? I bet you're gonna hate it.
Hey, you know what? People can tell you that you're gonna hate it all you want, but if you like it,
hate Witcher 3.
You said it.
I did.
Yes, you and Nolan told me that I'm gonna hate Witcher 3.
I mean,
You did, actually.
I mean, it doesn't not sound like something I would say, but but I was just being salty.
And I wouldn't actually say you're gonna hate Bloodborne because I'm a nice person.
Oh,
and he's also...
yeah. Well, I'm sorry if that hurt your
my God.
feelings. It's gonna be fine, Brad. You're gonna
Do you even know why he's called Geralt of Rivia?
Oh my God, just keep going. Love of God, just keep going.
Really don't. My sweat is for Batman Arkham Knight only because they just released this new trailer today and it's amazing and it features Scarecrow really heavily. But I'm getting like a really heavy red herring vibe from Scarecrow and I'm so worried that the end of this game is just going to be like, oh, it was the Joker! The Joker did it all again! It's always the f***ing Joker!
What if Scarecrow's Alfred?
That'd be weird, right? That'd be really weird.
Right?
That would be a twist.
I like to think that Rocksteady is smarter than that.
No, I'm sure they are, and I think there's already been rumors that like Joker kind of plays into like the MacGuffin of the game. Like there's a bunch of people fighting over stuff that has to do with the Joker, but he's not actually.
They're gonna
like,
find a
there.
way to have him make a cameo. That game,
Yeah.
the final game of that series, can't come out without the Joker making some kind of appearance.
I don't know. I feel like it could.
Apparently,
It probably should.
I feel like it could.
It probably should, but I doubt it will.
I feel like they did a really good job with Batman Arkham City, and let's just leave it there.
No, I agree.
My thank you for the week goes to Namco Bandai or whatever the hell they're calling themselves.
Namco Bandai.
Yeah. For a Dragon Ball Z game that I actually like. It was a lot of fun. I was super surprised. It's great that they finally didn't shovel some kind of dumb shit out there. That was, it was worth playing for someone like me who isn't like necessarily a hardcore fan who doesn't follow the franchise that much anymore to go back and be able to play it and like get all this nostalgia from it and like enjoy my experience. That was cool. And my fuck you for the week goes to Nintendo or whoever the fuck designed this new 3DS because it's wonderful and I love it and I'm actually really enjoying the system except for the fucking power button. I don't know about you guys, but this system's kind of big, and when I hold it, I put my pinkies under, right?
To support it.
Right on the fucking power button. This has already fucked me up royally on Monster Hunter a couple times.
And you've only had it for a day.
And I've only had it for like a day and a half.
And
And like because when you hit the power button, it automatically goes into that screen of like, do you want to power down the system? And you can say no, I don't want to power down the system.
Can you?
You
Yeah,
can.
you can.
You can say
I feel like on the current
you
one,
can
you
say
can't.
no. Listen, you can say no, I don't want to power down the system, but it automatically, no matter what, closes the program
Yeah,
you're
that's it,
running.
that's it.
What the fuck is that? And Monster Hunter being the way it is, you save at the beginning of a mission and at the end of the mission. Who knows how long that fucking mission's gonna take? I did one last night that was like 45 minutes. So everything that happened during that time, gone. Any loot, anything, gone. That is so infuriating, especially when you're looking at the screen and you know that there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You just wasted all that time.
Why would they put it there anyway?
I don't fucking
good
know.
question.
And my other pinky is resting on the goddamn cartridge. So
Which
I'm
could
worried
pop
that
out.
one of these days I'm just gonna, oops, popped it out. What the fuck? Like, corrupted your save data. Oh man, gotta start over. Like, what the fuck is this?
Or if you kill the power when it's saving, because it always tells you not to.
Yeah,
That'd be
right?
the worst.
I haven't had that
Right?
problem yet. I think I might have dainty pinkies.
And yet, I do really love the system, but like, oh my god, that is a glaring fault.
I love the system as well, but my god, the fact that they moved everything that's fucking important to the fucking bottom of the system is just stupid.
How do you like
the
the
power
nub?
button, the stylus, and the cartridge go in the bottom now.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Anyways, I agree with you, Crispy.
What's your 4-player minute?
My 4-player minute is this. Hype. I don't know why I'm fucking hyped to play Dying Light. I know the game's been out for like 2 or 3 weeks, but fuck, man. I've played that like 2 or 3 times the past few days, and I'm still loving the shit out of that game. Like, to me, that game is absolutely... Like, that game to me, like, kind of single-handedly finally lets me come to peace with the fact that Dead Island just fucking sucked.
It did. It does.
So I'm really, really happy with Dying Light, and I'm excited to play more. That dropkick is the best weapon of the fucking year.
It's pretty good.
It's the fucking best. I'll never get tired of drop kicking zombies off roofs, ever. My sweat goes to Resident Evil 7. Like Brad said, we'll probably see that at E3, maybe. But I have no faith in the fact that Capcom will bring that series back to where it once was. I think it should be a complete total reboot, and it should totally strive for the atmosphere they built with like Resident Evil Remake, but it'll probably never happen. My fuck you for the week is actually a what the fuck? What the fuck was behind that wall in the Talos Principle? I went back there, what the fuck? In fact, I found both of them. I found the one with the guys throwing the money. And then I found the one with the other one.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What was it?
It was a big open...
It's just hard to explain.
What the fuck? Just go do it. Just go boot it up tonight. Just go do it. It's in the first area, the first room you go into, the first chamber with all the rooms that you go into. There's one area that is where there's supposed to be a door.
It looks like there would be a pathway, but it's bricked over.
Yeah, just fucking walk through it and just what the fuck.
Wait. I think I did find that, but I didn't understand what the hell was going on.
Hence the what the fuck.
Yeah.
Hence the what the fuck.
It's
last
very bizarre.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of like. Go ahead.
I have one more fuck you for the week, and this goes to if you're a subscriber or a patron, you know I've been doing my Silent Hill 2 Let's Play. Silent Hill 2 is in my top 5 games of all time. I love that game, and I'm playing the HD collection mostly because of some issues I was having with the emulation, and I didn't want to delay my Let's Play any longer. So I've been playing the HD collection, which it was patched to a degree, so it's playable. But what the fuck did they do to the audio in that game? I'm not talking about the voices. I'm talking about the fucking audio. Like the noise of like your feet on like the ground and like doors opening. It just sounds off. It's just like they fucking replaced all of it. For what reason, I have no idea. Maybe legal issues. They had to re-record everything. I have no idea, but it's just weird.
Just a quick fuck you that I don't know Brad might be interested in, that Jaeger
I'm always interested in fuck you.
sent a message to us that BioWare patched Dragon Age Inquisition and they added like storage.
Yeah.
So now you actually have like a storage.
Now that y'all have finished the game.
Yeah. Well, I didn't finish it, but
Finished
I'm close
it
enough.
months ago. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Why could that not have been like a day one patch?
Yeah.
What were they
chat,
thinking?
Someone in chat just asked me, "Damn it, Nick, why play the Horde HD collection?" I just told you why I'm playing the
just
HD
said it.
collection. It's been on my shelf. It's the only version I had access to, and the emulation that I was running was not working the way I wanted it to. So I'm considering an experiment.
I got the GameCube version of Resident Evil 2 running really well.
I didn't want to delay my Let's Play episode any longer than I already had. So
That's fine.
anyways, I think that's it. I think we're going to go ahead and call it there, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Last reminder, this has been a big week for announcements for us. We announced our 400th podcast special on the 14th.
Yep.
Board Game Night next Tuesday in place of the podcast, so stay tuned for that. Theater mode on 4pp.tv, so please get in the habit of watching us there. It's Ed did a wonderful job. It works beautifully, and we're squashing a few minor bugs in it, but it should be where y'all watch us. If you watch us daily, please watch us on 4pp.tv. And the Podcast Award. We were nominated again. Woo! Podcast. Go vote for us every day. You can vote for us once a day for the next 15 days
Maybe
or so.
this time they'll actually send us our trophy.
Maybe they will.
We just like
podcastawards.com. You can vote for us once a day in the gaming category. So we really appreciate it. And with that, I think we're going to cut it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys for being here again. Once again. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Peace out.
Yeah,
4playernetwork.com.
Love you.